CarQuest Auto Parts, Big B Coffee, Northwest Heating and Air, WB Builders.
Cabinetry and Painting and Cabinetry pregame show. I'm Shane Smith, joined alongside by my trusty co-host Dennis Halverson. Charles Strales behind us right now working the computer so we can bring this to you live from right here at the Townhouse Bar in downtown Charlevoix. We're about 2.5 minutes away from kickoff here on this beautiful evening. Temperatures have risen dramatically over the last couple of days. Got a slight breeze. Beautiful weather for football tonight. And Dennis, I don't know about you, but we're excited for this final regular season game for the Raiders.
Well, excited on a number of different fronts. We're live like we were saying at the Townhouse Bar. The place is kind of hopping. We're going to bring you a great finale to a great Charlevoix Raider football season tonight. Still means a lot. Charlevoix can't stumble here tonight. Glen Lake comes into here with not that great a record, but they're home, last game of the year, so they can't look by Glen Lake tonight over there. And again, like you mentioned, a beautiful night for football.
And that, just as you said, that energy being the last game of the season, being such great weather, you know, no matter what, that they're going to be ready to go to play some good football. And the Raiders, you know, sometimes every now and then they stumble, get some inopportune penalties, maybe an interception here and there. We just have to make sure that we keep those in check, keep the play clean, and we should be okay against Glen Lake as long as we play a good, sturdy game so far tonight, which, apart from Boyne City, which they were just a weight class above us, we haven't had any problem with so far this season.
Well, looking ahead, if I may, a week from tonight, if everything goes as planned, the Raiders are in the playoffs. It's looking like we're going to play Benzie Central in Charlevoix a week from tonight. I've got the latest statistics here from the state. Now, again, just for you folks that don't follow the ratings and the divisions, used to be there was A, B, C, and D, four divisions. Now there's 8, so they doubled that up. And Charlevoix is in 7th, and it goes biggest school to lowest school. Charlevoix comes in this morning 9th in the state in Division 7. And interestingly,
yeah, we'll get that word out.
I'm in a bar and I haven't had a thing to drink, I'm telling you. Glen Lake comes in here tonight in Division 8, the last group, the smallest group, ranked number 40 point-wise. So both of them are rated, obviously Charlevoix 9th, Glen Lake 40th. The other interesting thing, the Boyne City, looking at those guys because they're listed also in their pursuit, their numbers Division 6. Hold on here. Boyne City is at 15 in Division 6. Elk Rapids.
Since 1994, J. Arnold Painting has been a Northern Michigan industry leader, but now they're offering you the same great service, but with custom-made, handcrafted cabinetry. You order it, and they build it. Everything is constructed and assembled right in Charlevoix and then delivered straight to your home. J. Arnold Custom Cabinetry takes pride in their elite-level craftsmanship and high emphasis on customer service. Contact them for more info. That's J. Arnold Custom Cabinetry at 231-547-0540.
There is no instant replay of school-based sports. Those who are still willing to officiate these games do their best to call it like they see it tonight. Please respect that officiating is not easy, and that just like the student-athletes on the field, the officials do the best job they can. Please welcome our MHSA officials this evening, our referee, Mark Stewart, umpire, Dave Jones,
what are a couple things
line judge, Dave Harrington,
just to clean up?
I think the big thing for Charlevoix is they can't be looking
Scott
until
Jones.
next week. They got to be looking to tonight.
Sure.
You know, this could be a trap game. You know, it's all momentum. They're looking a little bit too far down the road, literally and figuratively. So I think they've got to stay in the moment, take care of business in Glen Lake tonight, and just get the job done because they can do it. They've got the horses as long as they kind of, like I said, don't be looking too far down the road. But it's a great stadium to watch a football game. You can see the Charlevoix faithful over there on the far side. Not many of them taking that probably, what, hour and a half, maybe 2-hour drive from Charlevoix over?
Yeah, I don't blame them for being a little light there in the crowd tonight. It's certainly the longest drive we've had so far this season. And honestly, they probably have plenty of faith in our Rayder team to be able to take on this win without any problems.
So it looks like Glen Lake going to be receiving the kickoff.
Buffalini and Benjamin Sean Gallo back to the field.
Have the ball first as Ryan Pearl boots it deep all the way down to the 15-yard line is where Glen Lake will pick it up. Makes about 10 yards so far and gets hammered by about 3 different Raiders. And that'll be where the
ball received by number 11, Cooper Buffalini. Tackle made by Rayder, number 21, Landon Swanson.
We kind of have a little bit of a split allegiance here tonight. Like I think I mentioned in the last game, I've got a lot of relation over there in Maple City, Glen Lake. Technically, that's how they're referred to. And the coach is a cousin, and he's got a son, I think, that's playing. So although I'm still rooting for the Raiders, there's some of my relation out there wearing a Glen Lake uniform tonight.
Well, we'll see how they fare against the Raiders as Glen Lake picks it up here at the 27-yard line of their own. The handoff going up the center, and he'll get about 4 yards or so. That's number 20, Michael Gawa.
That's there you go. That's my cousin or second cousin. I think Chet Janik's listening over there tonight, the former school superintendent. He knows my family better than I do. He can probably tell me, using our text line when that comes up, what exactly relation those Galas, or like we mentioned before, the Polish pronunciation is Gawa. But anyway, I'm still rooting for the Raiders.
So here we go, Glen Lake with a good opening run, got about 5 yards or so. That second run there only gets him a little over a yard.
Garrett Moss, the ball carrier,
number 4
for the Lakers.
35.
In on the tackle
number 4 with that run
70, Adam Streeter.
Garrett Moss, we'll give him the credit there.
Looks like he picked up the yard.
So far, fairly steady drive. Opening up by the Lakers. Good 7 yards to begin here. They do have a bit of a trip to get that third down conversion. So Raiders, of course, have that stout defense, as they always have throughout the season, providing quite the matchup for any team that they've come against so far.
Yeah, third down and about 4.5. See if the Raider defense can rise to the occasion here.
Quarterback looks to throw, it makes a connection there, gets past the 40-yard line, and finally slides to stop at the 45. That's number 23, Luke Hazelton.
Man, he's a big kid.
Quarterback number 3, Sean Gall's pass is complete to number 23, Luke Hazelton.
Football, you name it, he's in it.
Picks up a first down and more. Tackle made by Raider number 8, A.J. Spiegel.
So far, Glen Lake's coming out.
Now first and 10 for the Lakers from their own 44.
Not exactly showing up their, what, 2-win record, is it? 2 or 3 win,
yeah, not many.
Almost to midfield. Glen Lake will take it at the 44 here to start. Quarterback lines up, fires once again. Short little pass to the 40, and he gets about 5 or so there on the play. The quarterback is number 3, Sean Gowa. Once again, Dennis's very own relation here playing tonight.
Pass complete to number 16, Ethan Stefke of the Lakers.
I'll say 7.
Tackle made by number 15, Henry Herzog.
Glen Lake Lakers.
Just to be about 6 at their
That's
own
a pick up of 4 yards,
line.
second and 6 for the Lakers.
So far for them to start.
We usually haven't let anybody in our side of the field this early in a game, except maybe Boyne City.
And with that, Glen Lake does make it over. Looks like it might be just short of the first down line. We'll see here in just a minute where they
Max Gal, the ball carrier for Glen Lake, is close to a first down. He's forced out of bounds.
Mary Beth Kerr.
Third down, 1 yard to go from
Nice
Charlevoix.
to have you drop by the booth. Yes. We're live.
Go Raiders.
All right. That's what you get here at a live crowd.
You never know who's going to walk up. Mary Beth and I spent a lot of time working together back in the day when she was the prosecuting attorney. Now I was a police chief, so nice to see you, Mary Beth.
Nice to see you too, the best police chief I ever worked with.
Yeah, thank you for saying that.
I am not exaggerating.
Well, thanks.
Well, that's a good look for our mayoral campaign coming up for Dennis. Glen Lake
Wish
tries
you
to
could
run it
vote.
up the center. Yeah, and there will be a flag on the play there. They weren't able to gain any yardage.
Michael Gal, the ball carrier
I
for
agree.
Glen Lake, stops short of
See
the
what
first
that flag
down.
call is here in just a moment.
Flag from right there. During the play, personal foul, Daphne twisted the face mask. Defense, number 78,
We're going to get the bartender on us. We put our water on the wrong table.
Well, there you go. All sorts of stuff going on. The Raiders had that penalty assessed against them. Couldn't quite see what it was about. But
I tell you what,
penalty will push the ball all the way to Charlevaux's
right down the
33-yard
field
line.
in a manner
Fresh
that we
down
haven't
for
seen
Lakers
very
first and
often
10.
this year.
the only other manner we've seen this from is Boyne City, and that wasn't exactly a good
Yeah,
one for
don't
us.
bring that game up.
Yeah, we have to make sure that we provide good stops here for Glen Lake, because they are within Rayder territory now at our 34-yard line to take the first down here in just a moment.
Charlevoix's got to stiffen up here. Glen Lake does not look like a team so far that only has 2 or 3 wins.
Go run up the side, trying to break through the line. He does. He gains a good 5 yards or so on the play. There's once again number 20, Michael Gall.
Michael Gall, the ball carrier up the left side.
Gallows over there.
Yep.
Lakers in on the tackle for Charlevoix, number 60.
Just a lot
Hunter
of
Lemerand.
snow
Looks like he gained us
shovelers.
6 yards. Going to be 2nd and 4.
Very agricultural
From the
over there,
27.
Dairy farms. Now grapes coming on. You never heard of a grape when I was over bopping around in my youth over in Leelanau County.
So here we go, Sean Gow and company getting ready to take the snap as we see there on the clock. 7 minutes 53 to go here in the first quarter.
Oh, good stop by Charlevoix. We needed that.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and about 3, it looks to be, for the Maple City Glen Lake Lakers, and they'll move them back actually a yard.
Michael Gall, the ball
Back to
carrier
the Rayder
for
28-yard line they go.
Looks like Trevor Streeter was one of the key defensive
Tackle made by number 66,
personnel there
Trevor
that
Streeter.
dropped the Lakers for a loss.
3rd down,
3rd
4 to
and
go.
3. Big 3rd down here for Charlevoix. We need to stop.
Gow fires off to the side, can't quite catch the number, but they did not get the first down conversion, so we'll see if they go for it here early.
Gall's pass complete to number 16, Ethan Stefke.
2.
Short of a 1st down.
4th and 2.
Still
Glen
now
Lake
4th down, 4 yards to go.
Lakers first quarter here. Live from the Townhouse bar. And there are quite a few people in here. We've met a few already, right?
Oh yeah, yep. Good crowd here tonight. Plenty friendly, saying hello to us whenever they can. It looks like there's a good crowd there on hand to watch the Glen Lake game. As they get ready to take it, they'll be going on that 4th down. Looks like about 3.
Going to try a field goal. That'd be a 44-yard field goal.
Well, let's see if they've got a leg that can match Ryan Pearl.
Man, I'm thinking yes. Short, but right on line, just a few yards short, but that was a pretty good attempt for 44 yards.
Nice kick on target, a little bit
Wasn't bad
short.
at all there, just a hair short. So with that, that'll be a nice
Ball
turnover
turn
on
over
downs.
to
Rayder will get
the
it
Raiders.
at their own. Seems to be about the 28-yard line, so not terrible field position to start the game.
Well, the Raiders needed that stop, and they needed that missed field goal. They kind of appeared to be a little bit back on their heels playing defense. Glen Lake did not have any trouble whatsoever marching down that field, and just the Streeter making a backfield stop for a sack, I think saved our bacon.
So here we go, Raiders taking over. Got old Brady Jess and company. Immediate handoff to Sterrett. He works up the center, breaks free. Finally gets taken down at about the 45-yard line, but it took 3 different guys to do so.
Man, that kid's something else. I've really enjoyed watching him this year. He just so
Number
explosive.
15,
He just has that
Henry
quick
Herzog,
first
the ball
second
carrier for
step.
Charlevoix.
And
Long
he can
run.
get through that. He
Brought
doesn't
down
need
by
much of a
number
hole,
9,
but you
Benji
give him that
Allen.
much hole and he is gone.
1st and 10 from the
Here we go, Raiders starting at their own 45 now for their set of downs. Jess once again, this time he'll keep it, runs up the center. He's got legs of his own, powers up the field, across the 30, now down to the 20, and he'll be home free for a touchdown. First one of the night for the Raiders, about halfway through the first quarter. In just a matter of 3 plays, they're able to march down the field and get a fantastic Raider touchdown.
Well, we've mentioned it before, you know, a defense has to keep everybody else honest. We've got so many weapons besides Sterrett. You know, we've got Swanson, we've got Vollmer, you know, catching balls. We got Herzog. But I think that makes Jess that more effective, much more effective, because they got to keep him honest as well.
Yeah.
And that last time they did not. And defense kind of bit on the fake. And there goes Brady Just for a quick 6 in this first quarter.
So here we go. Raiders looking for the quick 2-point conversion. A high snap, and Brady will take it in all on his own. There is a flag on the play.
Man, that ref threw that flag about 20 yards. Did you see that from back there?
As long as some of Brady's passes so far this season.
I tell you what, I think he was close to the 20, and he about hit the end zone with that flag. That was a great pass.
That'll be assessed against the Raiders.
Like a face mask, I couldn't really see.
Couldn't quite see either. Unfortunately, when you're looking at a TV brought by another feed, there's just a few too many pixels to try and pick out some of those finer details. But regardless of what the situation is, the Raiders will now have it about the 14, 13-yard line somewhere right around in there is where I see the ball. So we'll see what they can come up with now.
Well, this will make that 2-point conversion all the more challenging for the Raiders, trying this from about the 14-yard line.
Just information now. Gets ready for the snap. Got Starrett and looks to be Waha out on the sides. Quick pass over to Starrett.
Man.
He gets it. My
Great
goodness.
pitch and throw off the back shoulder. They practice that one. That is their bread and butter. On that, kind of slows up and comes back and hits them just like that. That doesn't happen by accident. They've probably drilled on that 300 times this year.
Well, with that, as we have 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the first quarter, I'll take a quick moment to thank Bingham Insurance. As Charles knows, running a small business can be risky, but one thing you can't leave the chance is your insurance coverage. Bingham Insurance wants to help keep you covered from the unexpected from happening. That's Bingham Insurance Company, representing auto owner insurance. And we'll take a second to thank Professional Seamless Gutters. Your home gutters are always there when you need them to be. So is our good friend Orion Beningo, and that's why he started Professional Seamless Gutters. Professional Seamless Gutters offers fast and experienced service and real-time quotes, but wait, there's more. They'll actually answer your phone call. That's Professional Seamless Gutters at 989-619-3407, and tell them that we sent you. And with that, Raiders just about ready to kick it off here.
Yeah, they had me worried that first drive for Glen Lake. I was thinking, oh no, what's going on here? But Raiders had a quick recovery, relatively quick score, and they're up by 8, where they should be.
Yep. Narrowly missed the field goal. Glen Lake did by just a couple yards short of that crossbar. Another deep
Look at that
kick.
boot.
My goodness, he's ready for college already, and he's only a sophomore. Buried that one down to the 10-yard line. And our runner for Glen Lake there, he'll get about to the 33.
Tough kid. He took a pretty good hit there. Didn't slow him down much, and it took kind of a student body Rayder right to get him down all the way. Looks like the ball's going to be placed at the 32, where the Lakers will start it again.
So the Lakers, they may have gotten a little bit of wind taken out of their sails there after they put together a great first drive. Maybe they'll be able to fashion something a little bit together here as they start again. Gowa lining up, deep pass downfield.
He got it.
Caught, my goodness.
Oh
at the
my,
45.
he's gone.
He's still going. Raiders finally catch up to him. Looks like they'll bring him down just a couple yards short of the goal line. We'll bring you the number of who that was here in just a moment if we can see him.
That was a great pass and a great catch. The Raiders haven't had that happen to them even at Boyne City.
No, that was one of the best passes we've seen from an opponent so far this season.
That was a long bomb. If you looked up long bomb in the dictionary, that video clip would be the definition.
If my eyes serve me right, tracing that play around the field, finally got into view. That was number 23, Luke Hazelton, that made the grab and run there, bringing his team all the way down to the 3-yard line. They'll try and go for it up the gut here, and looks like it'll be just short. Still 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Raiders up 8-0. Glen Lake knocking on their door after a long 60-plus yard play here just a moment ago.
Yeah, 2nd and 2. We'll see if the Raiders can't stop this drive right here. I thought he made it. Again, I'm not quite sure what happened, if that was a coverage issue or just a great route or kind of a combination. But again, that hasn't happened to Charlevoix's defense all year long.
Here we go, Glen Lake lining up once again. Gowa running out to the side, and he couldn't make the throw. He had a man wide open.
Yeah, wide open. He was waving his arms there. He thought he could. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1. He did pick up 1 yard. Big play here for the Raiders, but you gotta think that even if they don't get it here, they're gonna try it again. They're too close to.
Oh, definitely. And it looks like this will be the end of the Raiders' unscored upon streak. The only other team that was able to score upon them besides Boyne City was East Jordan in week 1. Otherwise, Raiders have gone completely unscored upon so far this season. It looks like Glen Lake will be able to add to that tally of only 2 other teams.
Yeah, speaking of East Jordan, while we're kind of waiting here, I'll get there looks like a fumble. Charlevoix's pointing that they've got it.
Oh my goodness, if they've got it, what a break for Charlevoix.
The ref hasn't signaled yet. Charlevoix's still saying they've got it. The ref isn't saying anything. Come on, ref, get with it. So they gave it back to the Lakers. Be 4th and 1. From looks like they might have lost a little bit there. Going to be 4th and 1 on almost a turnover by the Lakers.
Lucky for them, they were able to come away with it. And while we wait for a second, we've got a shout out from the Big Roads in Chalfont, Pennsylvania. I hope I said that correctly.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, there we go.
Big play here, 4th and 1.
We did get a clarification on the call earlier.
And they're on by Glen Lake, and they score.
Yep, they get it in. So that'll be the only other team besides Boyne City and East Jordan to score against the Raiders. And we did get a clarification on the big penalty that buried the Raiders earlier on Glen Lake's first drive. That was a holding call.
Okay.
So with that, we're going to go to a quick commercial break.
I'm Ryan Beningo, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installation, replacement.
And here we are. Sorry about the technical difficulties there. We'll get this squared away here in just a moment after Glen Lake makes the kick. Away and good.
Well, if there's a little bright spot in this, we still lead by 1.
Okay, now we're going to go into commercial according to...
I'm Ryan Beningo, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installation, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike many service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding the gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
Business owner, you learn to wear a lot of hats. The custodian hat.
Okay. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Glen Lake about ready to kick off against the Raiders. Boy, this is a opportunity that the Raiders don't get to see often. A team kicking off to them after a score.
Yeah, this is uncharted waters for our Raiders. First quarter, only leading by 1 point, and Glen Lake has not had much trouble with the Raider defense so far in this game. Long bomb, a nice play calling. I'm not worried yet, but...
And a deep kick, too. That one goes out of bounds just about a yard or so away from the end zone. We've got another shutout here on our hotline. This time it's from Patrick Sterrett's sister, telling him, go, Patrick, and way to go. Obviously, he's been one heck of a player for us so far this season. We are so thankful to have him and so many others on our team being able to make the impact that they do and able to bring the record that the Raiders have so far this season. Only a couple other seasons in Raider history have been able to match the level the Raiders have played at so far this year.
Well, Glen Lake got called for the penalty. That kickoff went out of bounds, which is a penalty. And Charlevoix elected to have him kick it again, this time, though, from the 35-yard line. So the Raiders should come out of this with pretty good field position, although the Glen Lake kicker is no slouch.
No, he's not. He's probably the best kicker we've seen outside of Charlevoix so far this season. Maybe Boyne City. We'll give Boyne City a lot of credit because they're with class above us.
That's number 21, the kicker for Glen Lake.
It's Bowden Fisher is his name. Just a sophomore, just like our own kicker, Ryan Pearl.
Man, what a boot. He still gets it down there. Holy cow.
All the way down to the 15 from the 35. Not a bad shot at all as Patrick Sterrett tries to work his way up the side. And he gets taken out about the 36-yard line or so.
I tell you what, for a sophomore, I am totally amazed. Even that far back, that ball, I think Sterrett caught it on what, about the 15?
Yeah.
That is a heck of a boot. We mentioned East Jordan earlier. They're in Division 8, which is, again, the least populated school. It looks like they're going to be in the playoffs. They come in tonight at number 30 in Division 8 with a 4-4 record. So they've had a 500 record. So there's going to be, the way it looks, depending on what happens tonight around this part of the state, looks like we're going to be fairly well represented, the Lake Michigan Conference, in the playoffs next Friday night.
So here we go. The Raiders taking it from their own 37-yard line. Jess hands the snap over to Sterrett. He breaks away, runs up the center once again, and he looks like he'll make it all the way.
Oh, man. Great little misdirection. And Sterrett being Sterrett, right?
I tell you what, I almost didn't give him enough credit there. I thought they were going to have him about 10 yards short of the goal line, but he made it, and what a beautiful run that he had.
Well, compliments to the Charlevoix offensive line. They made a nice hole there for him, and that's all he needs, just a split-second hole, which is what I think they gave him. I could have run through that hole. That was such a – and again, once he breaks that line of scrimmage and he picks up some steam, he's off to the races. Charlevoix needed that.
Well, you know, it doesn't hurt to get a little extra score on here and there. Once again, uncharted waters, as Dennis said. We're only up by a point at the moment. So let's see if they can get that quick 2-point conversion.
Looks like Charlevoix is a little short on men. Going to try for two here.
Just with the throw, and there was nobody there except two Glen Lake players, so lucky they didn't pick it away.
Well, that's what we've seen that so much, that spot pass, where the quarterback's going to throw it to a predestined spot, and the only job for the receiver is to be standing around that X. And something got mistranslated because Brady put it out there, and there wasn't a Raider within 5 yards.
I'm going to take this opportunity again while teams get ready to kick. We want to thank our good friends at Just Wood and Steel, Michiganders. We like to have our outdoor toys, meaning 4x4s, ATVs, side-by-sides, campers, trailers, and so much more. Often we don't consider how to store our vehicles, but Just Wood and Steel makes it easy with pole barns, metal frames, and sheds built to your specifications. When choosing a company to build your pole barn or enclosure, go with what's real. Go with Just Wood and Steel. So Charlevoix able to come up with two quick touchdowns. First one took a matter of 2 or 3 plays. This one took just one play for Sterrett to break up the center and away for the touchdown. Scores now 14-7. Still 2 minutes and 49 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Well, so far it's been all about the bomb plays. You know, Glen Lake throws a bomb, Sterrett runs a bomb. There's nothing grinding here tonight. It's just these long, kind of exciting plays to score. Charlevoix needs to step up, though. That ball's bouncing around. Looks like Glen Lake recovers a little mishandle there on about the 41, 42-yard line.
And we've got another shout-out on our text-in hotline. This time it's from Krista from Swanson K&D, watching from home, obviously for her good family members. Landon Swanson playing on the team. He's made one heck of an effort so far this season. Glad to have him on as well. Raiders still up 14-7 here.
You got to be impressed with that big Lakers logo. That's almost a college or pro caliber logo on the football field. It's a great facility. You ever been over there to that field?
I have, yep. Been over there for both football and basketball games. Glen Lake has a little bit of money, and they certainly like to show it. Esgawa tries to get a pass off, but he'll get wrapped up in the backfield, sacked all the way down at the 30-yard line.
That was kind of student body defense. It's probably one of the best bull rushes that the Raiders have put on tonight, and Gawa did not have a chance. Puts the ball on the, looks like the 32-yard line. Going to be second and I'm going to guess 20. They got 19.
Yeah. Gawa and company. Gawa this time throwing up the field. They'll be able to make that loss that they had on the previous play.
He's got a snappy pass, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Kind of a quick drop back and just a snap pass. Been pretty effective.
Oh, yeah. It's resulted very well for them. Unfortunately for them, they're stuck still with a third and long situation, about 10 yards to go or so back at their own 40-yard line.
Well, Glen Lake came out of the gate here ready to play. And, again, there hasn't been many occasions in the first quarter where the scores, we've only been ahead by 7. Mansalona, Manistee, some of those we were ahead already by 21, 28 points. But this Glen Lake team is obviously motivated tonight to make sure Charlevoix doesn't forget.
They're coming into this game with something to prove. They've
Something
got an
to
extra
prove,
grind. Yeah. They're going to show that they're better than that 2-win record that they have so far this year. And what better team to do it than a stalwart like Charlevoix?
Well, obviously Charlevoix's got a target on their back with their record.
So here we go. Gawa trying to load that ball up. There's a flag on the play. He'll throw it downfield.
Was it intercepted?
Yes. Number 3, Patrick Sterrett, came away with the ball, but there was a flag on the play.
I'm going to say it was a hold against Glen Lake. Sterrett playing both ends of the ball real well tonight. Offense and a great pickoff there if it stands.
We've got a shout out for Joshua Schultz and another one for Grand Rapids for the grandparents of Hunter Lemoran. Thank you for tuning in tonight.
Well, that penalty was against the Lakers, and the Raiders are going to decline. So that's going to be 1st and 10 for the Raiders on that Sterrett interception.
Another lucky break for the Raiders here. They take it from their own 44-yard line. Still a minute and a quarter to go here in the first quarter. Boy, has this really slowed down here in the last couple of minutes.
It has. It started out at a frenzied pace. Well, Gawa was doing the polka back there, and he should have just eaten that ball, and he threw a ill-advised pass, and Sterrett was waiting for it.
So Landon Swanson trying to turn up the center, powering those legs, even with a couple of Lakers against him. He was still able to get about 3 or 4 yards there on the play. We'll spot him at about 4 yards, so the Raiders will have it. Raiders will have it at their own 49-yard line.
Again, broadcasting live from the Townhouse Tavern, downtown Charlevoix. Looks like a birthday party going on in here besides the Rayder broadcast. A lot of familiar faces here. And on an early Friday evening in Charlevoix the Beautiful. Charlevoix with a handoff to, didn't catch that. I think that's going to be Swanson again, picks up just a few. It's going to be a decision time again for Charlevoix.
Well, Charles, as we get ready to wind down in this first quarter, it's good to have you on here.
Well, hey, thank you for bringing me on, guys. At the end of the first quarter, I'll come on and give my thoughts of the first quarter and analysis, as it looks like the Raiders are probably not going to snap this one before the quarter ends. 9 seconds to go, it looks like. Well, they might get a snap in.
Yes.
Yep, they do. All right. Just with a quick handoff and breakaway to Sterrett. Not quite as big as last time, but still gets a nice 22 yards or so on the play, brings it down to the Glen Lake 30-yard line as time expires here in the first quarter.
Well, Glen Lake just disconnect.
Business owner, you learn to wear a lot of hats. The custodian hat, the IT hat, and well, the you should have called a professional hat. Auto Owners takes care of your business insurance, so you can take care of everything else. That's simple human sense.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if auto owners make sense for you.
All right, welcome back into the second quarter here. Charlevoix Raiders up 14-7 over the Glen Lake Lakers. We're going to take this to thank some of our sponsors tonight. We want to thank our friends at Charlevoix State Bank. Listen, Charlevoix State Bank is your only local community bank, headquartered right here in Charlevoix County, with branches in Charlevoix, Boyne City, East Jordan, Ellsworth, and Beaver Island. They're always ready to help you. We'll get rest as the Raiders are getting ready to snap this one.
Just takes the ball, looks for man downfield, fires, able to connect with Waha, and that'll be a quick 6-yard gain.
Yeah, Dennis, just watching the Raiders right now, obviously we've seen more efficient offense by their opponent tonight, the Lakers, but got to like the way that the Raiders have been able to respond after keeping Glen Lake out of the end zone there.
Well, there isn't much grinding going on tonight on offense. It's
right,
like
it's smooth.
Smooth and chunks. Both
right.
sides are chunks. There's no grinding on either side of the offense tonight. It's long passes, it's long runs. Kind of fun to watch. Except if you were the defensive coordinator. Then it wouldn't be so much fun to watch.
Here we go once again. The handoff working up the center. That'll be number 21, Landon Swanson, once again. He'll be stopped just short of that gain of downs there, a couple yards short. I'll call it 3 yards. Still almost 11 minutes to go here in the half.
3rd and 3. Hey, give us a shout out wherever you're listening or watching this tonight. We've had somebody from Pennsylvania. Where else we've got tonight?
So far, Pennsylvania and Grand Rapids for listed places at the moment. As Jess gets ready for the snap once again on a 3rd and 3. And that'll be looked like number 2, Hudson Vollmer, who take it in for the touchdown.
We were just talking about the chunk plays, the things that they're just, everything's happening in blocks of about 30 yards on offense.
And I just see the number there. I apologize for the missed call. Landon Swanson was the one who carried it in.
Got to be one of his longer runs of the year.
Yeah.
Landon not necessarily known for his long runs, but there was an exception. Again, a very different running back than Sterrett. Sterrett quicker, kind of a little more shifty, where Swanson is more north and south like we saw there. Just kind of a powerhouse runner. Don't get in his way if he picks up some steam.
He'll truck you like the rest of his family over there at Swanson K&D. And once again, an off
like a
throw.
pickoff?
Yeah, by Jess. And so with that, Raiders will not be getting their second 2-pointer in a row. And we'll go to a quick.
Bartlett's Home Interiors is your hometown home furnishing store, serving Northern Michigan since 1950. Your perfect fit is waiting for you here. Among our large selection of furniture, flooring, Serta mattresses, and Hunter Douglas window treatments, our experienced staff can help with the details that are important to you to transform your space. Come explore our 35,000 square foot showroom today or visit us at bartlettshomeinteriors.com. Bartlett's Home Interiors, where you're always at home. M66 North, Charlevoix.
Charlevoix State Bank was founded in 1994 to provide exceptional local service to our northern Michigan community. With 6 locations in Charlevoix, East Jordan, Boyne City, Ellsworth, and Beaver Island, we're here to make banking easy, right here in your neck of the woods with people you know. Charlevoix State Bank believes in the positive lessons of high school athletics and is a proud sponsor of tonight's game.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Raiders came away with another quick touchdown. They weren't able to get their second straight 2-point conversion, though, so that'll leave the score at 20-7, still a 2-score game for Glen Lake to catch up with it, which they've proven so far that they're very capable of marching that ball down the field, and they've gotten a touchdown as a result.
Kind of a squib kickoff fielded by Glen Lake to about the 32-yard line. Yeah, I'm getting kind of whiplash. These long plays, long runs. Again, it's exciting for everybody but the defensive coordinator for both teams. Really doesn't, almost like they're going to use all their energy on those long plays.
Well, it'll make for an interesting situation later. Maybe both teams will be a little tired out, so we'll see.
I'm tired just watching all that running around.
There we go. Gowa and company taking it over at their own 32-yard line. The quick pitch over to the side, run by the other Gowa, number 20, that is. As soon as I get your name, Michael Gowa, there he is. Did lose a yard, though, on the play.
Got to like the way that the Raiders have been able to execute offensively but defensively as well, Shane. It looks like they're really locking into their cues, reading guards well, and those linebackers are flowing to the ball. Really good job of reading the play.
Apart from the 160-yarder that we saw from Glen Lake earlier, this has been one of Charlevoix's cleaner outings on defense so far this season. And obviously they have a good matchup to test it against and a rather tough team from Glen Lake so far tonight. There we go, the snap working up the center once again. He was able to squirt through. That was once again number 4, Garrett Moss. He was able to get the ball up the center, gained about 4 yards or so, but because they're behind the line of scrimmage after their previous play, it'll only be a 3rd and 8. They were at a 2nd and about 12 here a minute ago.
I tell you, doing a broadcast from the Townhouse bar and knowing about every other person sitting in a bar stool and saying hi as they go to the restroom is a totally different way to do a football game.
It certainly is, and we want to give a shout-out to special watcher Aunt Sherry from Colorado. We almost gave her a seizure or a heart attack during one of the games, so we apologize for that. Thanks for tuning in. Glad to see you made it through that one game.
Fort Collins, Colorado, if I remember correctly.
And as we were giving our proper shout-outs, the Raiders made a huge stop on 3rd and 8. Flying into the ball was Landon Swanson and a host of other Raider tacklers to put Glen Lake in a 3rd and 7.
It's been a little bit of a marathon so far this first half on who can run the longest and pass the farthest, and 20-7, Charlevoix kind of slowly pulling away, but I don't think that first quarter kind of spooked me a little bit.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm sure Glen Lake has plenty of fight left in them as we've got more shutouts coming in as Glen Lake kicks it away. That'll be a short, high kick, likely to go out of bounds, and it does. We've got Dan and Becky Brunswick from Brunswick, Maine tonight. There's one we haven't heard from in a while.
Brunswick, Maine.
Yeah. And then Suzette and Dennis Daly are listening in. And they give a shout-out to you, Dennis.
Yeah, nice. Nice couple there, friends of mine.
And while you guys are giving proper shout-outs, I'm going to sell something.
Okay.
We want to invite you to go down to Fresh Coast Sliders, located inside the back lot in Charlevoix. Fresh Coast Sliders for hamburger sliders. It's the taste intersection of savory and gourmet, offering a wide variety. Fresh Coast has something for everyone. Check them out online at fcsliders.com. Shane, the Raiders 1st and 10.
Raiders 1st and 10, taking it away from the Glen Lake 48-yard line. That's number 25 there. Number 5, I apologize, Brady Jess, quarterback, of course. I apologize there for the missed call. Tell you what, sometimes these pixels on the TV, it's just hard to see that number.
That's all the way in Glen Lake from Charlevoix. I know probably as the seagull flies, it probably isn't that far away, but sometimes just a little difficult to pick up that jersey number, but Jess is feeling it tonight too.
Yeah, that's another great run that he had. He had obviously the first touchdown and 2-point conversion, only 2-point conversion that the Raiders have had so far. He was able to run both of those in as the Raiders take down from the Glen Lake 35-yard line.
Hands off to 15.
That's Henry Herzog. He was able to get a nice gain of about 8 or so there on the play.
First time we've called his number tonight. Nice to see him get a touch.
And it looks like they'll short him a little bit of our estimate there, put him at about the 29-yard line for a 2nd and 4 situation coming up here for the Raiders.
This is a crucial drive for Charlevoix right now, guys. Obviously, you're up by 13 points, but if you go up here and get the 2-point conversion, you would be up by a total of 3 scores. So let's see what they can do here.
Jess with the handoff once again to Henry Herzog, able to get that first down and then some more, almost all the way down to the 20-yard line.
Well, again, we just marvel at the weapons that Charlevoix offense has with Herzog and Vollmer and Sterrett and Swanson. The defense just, and Jess, is a running threat. A defense just has trouble keeping track of all those offensive players with continual success. And we've seen it here again tonight. The spreading around and touching the ball for Charlevoix just is playing havoc with any defensive scheme.
So here we go once again. The handoff up the center goes absolutely nowhere. The Raiders actually lose about 2 yards there as number 4, Max Dixon, handled the ball for the Rayders.
So we got some more shout-outs we want to give to happy birthday to Claudia. That's Jack and Henry Herzog's grandmother.
Oh, Claudia.
Where's
Claudia tonight?
Yeah, Claudia, if you're watching, text us, tell us where you're watching from.
And how old you are.
Yeah.
We want to know, Claudia. What birthday is it?
So big 2nd and 14 for the Rayders now.
Just information, getting ready to go here. Takes a second to reset. And now he's ready. The quick pitch over to Sterrett. Once again, he'll break up the side, finding a hole, goes out of frame of camera, and looks like he'll be just short of the goal line. There is a flag on the play. We've got another shout out coming in from Bill away at Charlevoix Glads, watching from home. Thank you, Bill, for tuning in to us tonight. Glad to be able to bring this to so many people, both at home and here, of course, at the Townhouse Bar.
We should maybe, I don't know if it breaks any rules, kind of pan the crowd here tonight. Do a cam fest. What do they call it? Like at football stadiums where they kind of throw that
a fan cam.
Fan cam.
Okay.
Fan cam. Yeah.
Got a big showing tonight at the Townhouse, coming out to check out the Raider watch party as we're bringing it live to you. We did have a 2nd and 14, but as Shane, you alluded to, that's going to back the Raiders up a couple of yards
Quite a
here.
ways.
Looking like they're going to spot the ball at the Lakers' 32-yard line. So the Raiders got some work to do. It'll be a 2nd and 24.
They got so far to go that you can barely see the flag sticks in the frame we're watching. That's a lot of distance there.
It's from about here to Traverse City if you're looking on the map from Charlevoix to Glen Lake.
They have to get to downtown Cedar to get a first down.
So here we go. Just once again on that long 2nd and 20. He's looking for a man, and he gets fumbled.
He got hit.
Boy, that's going to be close. I don't know. It looked like Charlevoix was able to come on top of it, but Glen Lake is celebrating.
Like number 6 for Glen Lake?
No, that's number 8. Dylan Condiff was able to come away with it for the Lakers.
No, he forced the fumble, I believe. I believe it was forced by Dylan.
Okay.
Didn't see who recovered it for the Lakers, but nonetheless a huge momentum-turning play. So the Raiders are going to have to deal with the quick change of possession.
I don't remember just fumbling this year.
Yeah.
That could have been the number 1, and only so far. He looked like he's just getting ready to bring that ball back for a pass, and he got hit right at the wrong time, and he coughed that baby up.
And for that quick mayhem moment, that's going to be our Bingham Insurance mayhem moment. Whenever mayhem happens in your life, seek out Bingham Insurance. Check out the pros. Go over to Bingham Insurance.
All right, I'll give you credit. That was a slick
good one.
Good
job. I
job.
like that.
Yeah. So Glen Lake will be taking it over from their own 38-yard line.
Ball's on the deck.
Fumble.
Yep. Looks like they were able to come away with it still, though, so they'll retain possession, but they'll be backed up now to their 35. So it'll be a 2nd and about 13 coming up here for Glen Lake.
It's kind of an unusual game so far. The chunky long plays, Glen Lake coming out of the gate at warp speed, kind of caught Charlevoix, I think, in that first half a little bit back on their heels defensively. And Charlevoix looked like they, were at least looking at the ropes. They weren't on the ropes, but they were at least looking at them that first quarter with all they can handle here. But, just coughing that ball up, Glen Lake still thinking that they've got a chance here tonight.
And a chance they've got. Skawa tries to go off to the side, makes a connection there at the 40-yard line, and he gets pushed out of bounds. He'll gain about 3 or 4 on the play. That was number 15 for Glen Lake, Luca Aculo.
16.
Okay, that was Ethan Stefke there.
Ethan Stefke, that brings up a 3rd down and
3rd and 5, we'll say.
Yeah, I'm going to say a little longer than 5. I know that's what the.
Yeah, it's definitely a long 5.
Yeah, like 7.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've got a couple more shout-outs coming in. That text-in line is burning up. Go number 33, Joshua Schultz from Grandpa and Sterling Heights. And we've got Go Raiders from Scott's Lawn Maintenance. Thank you all for tuning in.
Well, Maine so far has the record for longest listener.
Here we go, the quick pitch over to Michael Gawa this time. He runs up the side. Oh my God,
what
absolutely
a pop.
Trucked.
The ball popped out, but the referee is calling it dead right there at the point of attack. Man, did he get hit by a truck.
Attack is the word for it for sure. That might be one of the hardest hits.
It was Patrick
so far
Sterrett.
this season.
Patrick Sterrett came in there, shot out of a cannon, and he came in there and lit him up.
That almost rivals Josh Bruchaltz's hit earlier this season that knocked a man's helmet off.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
Yeah.
Man, he put a Rayder bus hit on him. He coughed that ball up. Luckily, it looked like I'm not sure why the ref called it down there, but still going to be Glen Lake's ball. 4th down and about 5.
Yeah, I mean, that thing was monstrous from Patrick Sterrett coming out of the safety position. And when he has that much time to build up a head of steam, you saw it right there. It's over.
He's a tough kid. What we talked about him, 5'10"-ish, 5'9", 5'10", probably 185, 180.
I'd say probably about 180, yeah.
Solid muscle, too.
Glen Lake will be kicking it. There is a flag, though. Another short kick.
Nice bounce. Gets it down to about the 37-yard line, but there is a flag on the play.
That seems to be the theme of tonight's game is flag on the plays. Neither team is playing a very clean game so far tonight.
Yeah, so they'll check the marker. We're going to step aside for a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll be right back.
Located in Charlevoix, Michigan is Martin Concrete, where they specialize in residential concrete construction, providing high-quality concrete work and guaranteeing customer satisfaction. They're proud to serve Charlevoix and the surrounding areas. No job is too big or too small for Martin Concrete, with services ranging from concrete slabs, footings, driveways, retaining walls, and much more. There's nothing that Martin Concrete can't do regarding concrete. That's Martin Concrete, online at Martin Concrete.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The Rayders taking it over from their own 37. Quick pitch off to the side. Sterrett's got the ball, working up the sideline, past midfield, finally dragged out about the 38-yard line of Glen Lakes.
Wow, I'll tell you what, Dennis and Shane, that read that Brady Jess made right there as they were optioning the end, he had to read the corner on the weak side of the field, saw him commit too early, and then he knew he had Patrick Sterrett to his right, got the ball into his playmaker hand, and let Sterrett do the rest.
That was a long pitch, wasn't it?
It was.
That pitch had to have been 8 yards. That was almost a mini pass, not a pitch. But Sterrett did what Sterrett does, picked up some nice yards.
And once again, he's got the ball again, just snaking around all of those Glen Lake defenders, and he finally gets brought down once again inside the 25-yard line. We've got another shout-out, this time to Uncle Donovan Swanson, who turns 38 today. Happy birthday, Donovan. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to the Swanson family for tuning in and giving us all these shout-outs to read off for you guys.
Donovan Swanson's 38.
Yeah.
I knew that kid when he was only one digit.
So the Raiders, 1st and 10. Glen Lake 25. Just with the handoff. This time it's Landon Swanson taking it up, and he'll be in for another Raider touchdown.
That looked too easy.
Yeah, there was nobody stopping him there.
No, that was too easy. If you're Glen Lake's head coach, you're not going to be happy with the lack of defensive effort there. Looked like kids just got out of the way.
I mean, Dennis, let's be honest, though. You and I would both get out of the way if we saw Landon Swanson coming at us with a head of steam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'd probably shut my eyes and then get out of the way and hope he didn't nick me on the way by. He's a big boy, and he can run.
Here we go. Just with the keeper, and he gets right up and in there for another 2-pointer.
A perfect read for Brady Jess, as Swanson was definitely the Trojan horse there.
Yeah, they bid on that hard, didn't they?
He went right into the two middle linebackers for the Lakers, and he took it in the chin, but Jess took it in for 2. So with that, we're going to step aside and be back. 2 minutes, 49 seconds left to go. Raiders up 28-7.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Charlevoix just got another quick touchdown, bringing the score to 28-7. Dennis, I might hazard a guess, this looks a little bit more familiar for Charlevoix Raider fans tonight.
Yeah, that first quarter was maybe just an episode of the Twilight Zone. Again, I think both of us were a little worried there, but now we're seeing the Charlevoix we've become to love and know. The second quarter has been all Charlevoix, all Sterrett, Swanson, Jess, with a little trickeration on the kickoff for Glen Lake.
Well, it gained of about just about 15 yards or so. They were able to field it from the 15 and got just past the 30-yard line, so that's where they'll take it here.
Yep, Max Dixon with a tackle there. I think at this point, Glen Lake turns way to the back of the playbook and tries to find something that's going to work in the second quarter. But I think, just my observation is Glen Lake flashed early.
Yeah.
But they didn't flash long.
Quick flash bang, and they did give a bang in that first quarter, but then, they haven't been able to produce much since then. They did have a couple of good drives, but the Raiders have just been able to come up with some good key stops and then, of course, score on any opportunity that they've had so far, apart from the one fumble that Jess had, his first one of the season, if I'm not mistaken. So here we go. Glen Lake, a little toss over there to Michael Gowa once again, and he gains about 3 or so on the play.
They kind of went to that pass out into the flats to try to, buy some time there for the receiver, get away from that Charlevoix rush. And it's been kind of effective. I'd probably give it about a 6 on the 1 to 10. But it brings up a second down and about 6 yards to go for Maple City, Glen Lake, Cedar.
Maple City, Glen Lake, and Cedar.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we have a new record for tonight, Dennis. Coming in, Raider Nation, cheering from Portland, Oregon. Coach Andrews' family.
Okay, so Portland, Oregon, and Maine. You can't get much farther apart in the continental United States here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, than we are during this broadcast.
So once again, another quick toss. This time it's over to number 16, Ethan Stefke once again. But we do have a... they'll give it the first down.
How does that look? You can't see it yet. Never mind, don't worry.
They're looking over at the Charlevoix stands. It's maybe, I've never seen such a puny stand in my life. That stand only has to be like 7 yards long.
Well, it looks to be about full, as full as it can be for something that small.
It's pretty tiny.
Yeah.
They must not get many visitors over here.
Yeah, well, they're just a hair out of the way of most places, that's for sure.
You don't pass through Glen Lake.
No.
Speaking of Glen Lake, they didn't do very well on that possession with a handoff. Looks like they lost about 4 or 5 yards. Going to bring up second and about 13. But all things considered, closing in on the end of October, it looks it's a great football night. It's not raining. How'd you like to play this two nights ago?
Oh, that would have been rough. 50-mile-an-hour winds, snow, sleet, rain, the whole gamut. It's coming down. Michigan was giving it its best for fall weather, that's for sure.
Tonight, perfect. Things are hopping in the Townhouse, and we're bringing you live Raider football.
As Gowa looks to pass, nearly gets taken down by the Raiders. Intercepted there. Right at midfield. We'll get you the number as soon as we can say it. Patrick Sterrett, what a job he did once again. Another interception onto his tally for the season as he was able to take it at about the 48-yard line.
What can he not do tonight?
I really don't know, Dennis.
He makes interceptions. He scores 40-yard touchdowns. He makes tackles that shook our teeth, 80 miles away. The kid is on fire tonight.
The only thing I haven't seen him do is make a kick, but I'm sure, if I were to bet on it, I'm sure he would do just fine at that. He's just one of those guys that can do it all. So the Raiders will be taking over at their own 49-yard line after Patrick Sterrett's interception. Still a minute 56 to go. A little flick off to the side. Sterrett's got it. He's running up. Gets past one defender. 2 more, and finally gets brought down inside the 40. Still a good Raider first down.
I tell you what, I know at the end of the year they have a most valuable player usually at their dinner. The team's last supper together as a team. I'd have to put Sterrett right there at the top in consideration for most valuable player.
Oh, yeah.
The kid's a package.
There's a reason why he was an all-stater last year, and I'm sure he'll have those honors again this year as he has the ball once again, working up past the 20, the 15, the 10, finally brought out of bounds once again.
Well, I know he got all-state honors last year. I don't see any reason why he's not going to do that again for this season. The kid, we don't have his stats right in front of us, but what would you guess? Probably he scored 20, 25 touchdowns this year?
Oh, God, it's got to be.
I mean, didn't he have 3 or 4
20.
in one game?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's pretty much every game he's had at least 3 touchdowns, yeah.
The kid is a phenom.
Now we've got another shout out from Maryland this time. So we've got the Eastern Seaboard well covered with Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Maine. Portland, Oregon's tuning in as well, so thank you. Still haven't broken that Alaska record with somebody in Hawaii, but who knows? Maybe that's coming up yet again this season.
We got a timeout on the field for Charlevoix, which means we're going to take a break.
Wanted to try skydiving? This is Luther from Skydive Charlevoix. We specialize in first-time tandem skydiving and offer the best views in the entire Midwest. Jump from up to 2 miles high and free fall as fast as 120 miles per hour. Then, when the parachute opens, you can enjoy a peaceful canopy ride back to the landing area. Skydive Charlevoix also offers a scenic flight with every tandem jump. Enjoy an amazing bird's-eye view of Grand Traverse Bay, Little Traverse Bay, Beaver Island, and the entire northern Michigan shoreline. It's easy to book your jump online at skydivecharlevoix.com. That's skydivecharlevoix.com.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Team's just about ready to come out of timeout, but Dennis and I were musing just a moment ago about the fact that what a show that we have just in the Texan line of its own. We've got another shout out for Patrick Sterrett, player of the game so far.
Yeah, hard to argue with that. He's just been a one-man operation, but he's surrounded. You can't overlook the offensive line. And
if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have these opportunities for Sterrett, Jess, and Swanson, all those guys to break through. Here we go, Raiders 2nd and 12. Trying to work something up the center, and Swanson, he gets it in there. Another great Raider touchdown.
Again, they look towards, other players that they've got to watch, and I think that allows some people like Swanson to have a little more room when they're maybe looking at Sterrett, maybe looking at double teaming him. Well, that, again, that was almost a replay of his first touchdown, right up the middle straight, which is what Swanson does. Head of steam straight ahead and takes another 6 for Charlevoix. 34-7. Charlevoix going for 2 one more time.
just once again trying to break it up. Yeah. Just couldn't quite get through. He got finally brought down by 3 different people as we have Grandpa Bill Claflin watching from Ormond, Florida.
Where in Florida?
Ormond.
Oh. Is that by Livonia?
Thanks, Dennis.
This November, the citizens of Charlevoix will have a choice to elect Dennis Halverson for mayor. On November 8th, choose leadership you can depend on. Vote Dennis Halverson.
Paid for by committee to elect Dennis Halverson mayor.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Raiders about ready to kick it off for the final minute and 18 seconds here of this first half. And it was fielded about the 10-yard line. That's number 11 for the Maple City Glen Lake Lakers. He wasn't able to get too much yardage up the field there. That was Cooper. I apologize if I slaughter this name, but it looked like Copper Buffalini. Very, very Italian name there.
If you say so. I just got offered some black market pizza. If you're, looks like they've got some skewered chicken and a little bit of pizza left if you haven't eaten dinner yet. I could get used to doing games here.
Oh, I know. Isn't this fun? But we've got, we aren't the only ones having fun tonight. We keep having more people texting in on our hotline, having a great time watching us. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This time, shout out to Coach Andrew Mitchell Go Rayders from your family in Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
There you go. Now we've got the southern half of the United States covered.
We got the trifecta.
Yeah.
Texas, Oregon, and Maine.
Yep. Got Nana Claflin from Concord, New Hampshire. Look at all this coming in tonight.
New Hampshire.
This is a game in and of itself, just reading off all these texts.
It's fun. Keep calling in. Like I said, the Charlevoix is winning. Last game of the regular season for Charlevoix. They're doing well. They're up 34-7. The Townhouse bar is hopping. I got offered some pizza and some chicken skewers. I mean, I tell you what, it does not get any better than this.
Well, not only is it not getting better for us, but the people at home watching us tonight, they just keep on having fun. Dennis, you're not the only one calling out me for my Liviona comment.
Somebody
earlier.
else remember that?
Yep, the Just family once again watching from Liviona, Michigan tonight. Oh, my
Well, the other one that was kind of a classic, and not to rain on your parade, but the last game when they had the ball on the 52.
Ball on the 50, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ball on the who were we playing last week?
That was the afternoon game, wasn't it?
No, that was just last week. Trying to remember who we were playing.
Oh, homecoming?
Yeah.
Oh, you said
Kalkaska.
Yeah.
The ball on the Kalkaska 52-yard line, ladies and gentlemen. But with that, that's the end of the first half. So we'll cut to another quick commercial break. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back with your
halftime show. I'm Pat O'Connor, joined by Charles Strail, Daniel Smith on the camera tonight, Charles. And I mean, first of all, we got to say the swag. It's getting close to making me look good.
Play call from coach. It's 3rd and 6. Just on their side of midfield. Steenman's going to haul it up, and wide open downfield is Barrett, and he is gone. Check that. 2 ends off the left side. It's a toss to Backlund up the left side. Breaks one tackle. He's in. Chris Kashoniak looks up the middle to Cordy. It is complete. Great catch. Conrad Cordy. Nothing but green after the stiff arm. Touchdown Snowbirds. What a play. The snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is up. The kick is no good.
This is Charles, founder of Next Level Broadcasting. Interested in advertising on our channel? Get a hold of us. And next week, this commercial could be yours. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Professional Seamless Gutters, Charlevoix State Bank, J. Arnold Painting, Bingham Insurance Services, Fresh Coast Sliders, J. Arnold Custom Cabinetry, Bartlett's Home Interiors, Swanson K&D, Just Wood and Steel Sales and Design Center, Martin Concrete, Skydive Charlevoix, CarQuest Auto Parts, Big B Coffee, Northwest Heating and Air, WB Builders, Charlevoix Agency Insurance, Culvers of Charlevoix, Beaver Island Boat Company, Market Technologies Incorporated, Charlevoix Sewer and Drain Cleaning, Site. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Professional Seamless Gutters, Charlevoix State Bank, J. Arnold Painting, Bingham Insurance Services, Fresh Coast Sliders, J. Arnold Custom Cabinetry, Bartlett's Home Interiors, Swanson K&D, Just Wood and Steel Sales and Design Center, Martin Concrete, Skydive Charlevoix, CarQuest Auto Parts, Big B Coffee, Northwest Heating and Air, WB Builders, Charlevoix Agency Insurance, Culvers of Charlevoix, Beaver Island Boat Company, Market Technologies Incorporated, Charlevoix Sewer and Drain Cleaning, Site Planning and Development. Thank you for your support. We hope you have enjoyed tonight's game.
Bartlett's Home Interiors is your hometown home furnishing store, serving northern Michigan since 1950. Your perfect fit is waiting for you here. Among our large selection of furniture, flooring, Serta mattresses, and Hunter Douglas window treatments, our experienced staff can help with the details that are important to you to transform your space. Come explore our 35,000 square foot showroom today or visit us at bartlettsHomeInteriors.com. Bartlett's Home Interiors, where you're always at home. M66 North, Charlevoix.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our Bartlett's Home Interiors halftime show. I'm Shane Smith, joined alongside, of course, by my trusty old friend here, Dennis Halverson, Charles Strail, and Jimmy Deschkamp's working the computers for us. So, Dennis, after kind of a sputtering start of a first quarter, Raiders were only up 8-7. This second quarter is really lit up. Raiders are up 34-7 going into the half. Not too many misfires so far, apart from the Brady just fumble and some flags here, and they're both teams having a lot of flags so far tonight. But apart from that, we got to be pretty happy with our Raiders so far.
Yeah, I think, Charlevoix started the game. They left most of their game in Grolickville on the way in, and it took a little while for that part of the game to catch up to them over there in Glen Lake and Cedar. But I was a little worried there. We talked about the worst-case scenario is maybe Charlevoix looking ahead to the playoffs and kind of skipping over the fact they got to win one here tonight.
Yeah.
Or we might not be faring too well a week from tonight. So I was a little nervous, I'll be honest with you. But something happened. Sterrett kicked in. Swanson kicked in. Jess kicked in. Vollmer kicked in. So the regulars kind of, I don't know what happened. They had an epiphany.
Yeah.
If I can use that word in football. Epiphany.
That might be a big word for football
sometimes. It is for football, but, looking at the score now, 34-7, that's where we expected this game to be honest. Glen Lake having a rough year so far. Charlevoix quite the opposite. Comes in here tonight 7-1. Glen Lake, we think, has got only 2 victories. So, this is what we expected. Again, the individual performances, it looks like a little bit that Glen Lake defensively kind of stepped back a little bit from some of their responsibilities. Those 2 scores by Swanson, it looked like a little bit like Glen Lake's defense was kind of getting out of the way as opposed to trying to stop him before he scored the 6.
Well, Charles, you know all about trying to get out of Swanson's way, that's for sure.
Well, I tell you what, when you watch the way Landon Swanson runs the football, you don't want to tackle him, and sometimes you just, in the NFL, they call it making a business decision. You don't want to have that career-ending tackle by trying to take on a Swanson truck. In this case, that's a Swanson dump truck heading down US 31 as Landon Swanson cruised in there for a touchdown. He's been playing well. The whole Raider offense has been really efficient. I've been impressed with the way that their execution has been coming along so far in this first 20 or 30 minutes of play. 24 minutes of play. So I've liked the way that they've been executing defensively. The scheme has been good, aside from the opening score that they gave up to Glen Lake. Got to give a huge shout out to the offense and defensive lines. You've seen that in these dominant performances they've had. Those offensive pieces like, tackle, guard, center.
Yeah.
On either the left side or the right side, have been able to really establish key and crucial blocks early on. I was talking to assistant head coach, offensive coordinator Jim Alger, and he said, he really wants he doesn't script his first 15 plays. So what a lot of teams will do in college and NFL is they'll script their first 15 plays on the play sheet. Well, I talked to Jim. He doesn't like doing that because the script can't take into account a 3rd and 3 or a 2nd and 8. So Jim really just wants to see how the defense reacts to different formations and different motions, alignments. And then once he sees how the defense reacts, that's how he adjusts his play calling. So got to give credit where credit is due, and obviously putting up 34 points in the first half was a really good effort. Those have just been some of the things that I've noticed tonight.
What would you think in that first quarter, first part of the first quarter especially? It didn't look like Charlevoix's defense was especially focused.
Right.
And we hadn't seen that this year, where Glen Lake pretty much was doing what they wanted to do, came down and scored there for that first part of the first quarter. It was 8-6. And we'd never seen that before. They marched right down the field. And then somewhere along the line, I used the word had an epiphany and things kind of came together. But that first quarter didn't look like Charlevoix was there yet.
I like to see the fact that when you play against a team like Glen Lake and you go an hour and a half, you get on a bus and you go for a ride, I think that might have there's a correlation versus causation thing. I'm not going to say it's a causation, but I think there's a strong correlation that when you get off the bus after an hour and a half ride, I saw the Charlevoix bus drive by through East Jordan at like 3:30 today. So, when you leave at 3:30, you get to Maple City at 5:15. it takes a little bit to adjust and kind of, a lot of these kids probably took a nap down there. So when they're coming back, we've all been 16, 17, 18 years old before. Many of our viewers tuning in can relate. Like when that happens and you just wake up from a nap, it takes a little bit of time to kind of do the factory reset. And, that might have played a part of it, but you also got to give credit to Glen Lake. Obviously, they have had 8 games of film on Charlevoix, so they knew what kind of defense that the Raiders were going to come out in, the different type of alignments, what Charlevoix's tendencies are, in the early possessions of a football game. So Glen Lake, hats off to them, able to execute, able to run their stuff efficiently and effectively. And, the Raiders did a really good job of bouncing back after giving up that opening possession score for Glen Lake.
Well, one thing, too, I think you got to mention, we lucked out this year. We didn't have to drive to Manistee. We didn't have to drive to Tawas. This has really been the only, what I'll call it, the brown bag special on a school bus.
Okay.
And like Shane was mentioning when he was in high school, that was almost the ride you kind of dreaded, right?
Oh, yeah.
The school bus ride from Charlevoix to Maple City, Glen Lake.
Leave school at 3 o'clock to get there just around 5 o'clock and then have to get ready. It was always a rough,
and there's no
rough
McDonald's
ride.
over there.
Oh, no.
You can't grab something to eat beforehand. You could get a pierogi here and there over there, but no fast foods over that far west.
But it just goes to show the tenacity and the mettle that this team has to come away after, just having a 1-point lead and then to be able to hold each other accountable and create those efficient drives, long passes by Jess, long runs by Swanson, and Starrett, of course, is always just really able to turn up that heat against what was a stout Glen Lake defense at first, and then just really able to turn it on and run away with it.
Well, we got some texts we want to get caught up on, Shane. Okay. I know you've been doing a good job, but one of them that I just thought was too great of a text to ignore, or you probably already said it, but I'm going to say it again. We've got the Jess family tuning in once again from Livonia.
Yeah.
Livonia, whatever it is.
Liviona.
We can't get it right.
That's going to dog you for a while, that Liviona.
You guys, and apparently the Just Is at home, aren't going to let me forget that one. I don't mind it. It's good to have a little fun, can tease each other out.
It certainly is. We just got another text, we are bringing this game live from the Townhouse bar in downtown Charlevoix. Want to thank all of our sponsors for being a part of this and letting us do this. Just having a watch party, hanging out, 3 guys. Jimmy also, Jimmy Deskamp's running the production, the 1s and 2s, making sure everything looks clean and smooth. Want to give a shout out to Jimmy's mother. It's her birthday today.
Her birthday, a lot of birthdays today.
Yeah, we got a lot of birthdays tonight.
Well, we're in a good strategic spot right here because we're looking on a packed, crowded bar. Everybody's having a good time. Downtown Charlevoix at the Townhouse doesn't get much better than that. But we're right on the way to the restrooms. So I'm seeing all these people that I haven't seen in a while, and I kind of say, hey, while they're walking by to get to the back here. And it's kind of fun.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun hanging out tonight. It's a good crowd. We're going to get this correction right. We got a birthday mishap as I misspoke.
Uh-oh.
So, Jimmy, give me that name again.
Jimmy's going to do a little editing here on Charles's comment.
Oh, okay. So we got to edit that. I apologize. It wasn't Jimmy's mother's birthday tonight. She just wanted to say hi and that they're watching.
Okay.
I misread that, but next time when her birthday comes up, we're definitely going to give her a shout out.
Give us a call.
I just wanted to jump on the birthday train, a little bit overzealous to do so. Once again, this is the Bartlett's Home Interiors halftime show. All of our sponsors bringing this to you. I want to give a quick shout out to J. Arnold Painting and Custom Cabinetry, Professional Seamless Gutters, Bingham Insurance, Charlevoix State Bank, Fresh Coast Sliders, Bartlett's Home Interiors as always, Swanson K&D, the Dennis Helverson for Mayor campaign, also Northwest Heating and Air, Big B Coffee, Charlevoix Agency Insurance, Culver's of Charlevoix, Beaver Island Boat Company, Market Technologies Incorporated, Charlevoix Sewer and Drain Cleaning, Site Planning and Development, also Skydive Charlevoix, and Martin Concrete. Getting together to bring this game to you.
Take a breath, Charles.
That's right.
That was a long list.
Oh, man. So if you're interested in being a part of our sponsorship and advertising group, get a hold of us at nextlevelbroadcasting14@gmail.com. We'll be happy. Or you can just text us right in on the Professional Seamless Gutters text-in hotline.
Now, they don't have to be in this state even, do they, if they want to be a
no,
sponsor?
I mean, if they want to be a sponsor, if you're somebody watching from Alaska or Maine,
Texas, Florida.
New Hampshire. We got a lot of people tuning in from all over the country. That's the beauty of this as we've put this together, and the Rayders have really just been giving us a good treat every Friday and sometimes Saturday this fall. So if you've enjoyed watching, please also, if you would, drop us a like on the game and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would greatly help us as the YouTube algorithm helps calculate how our viewership can be seen and populate within the local community as well. So drop a like, thumbs up, and subscribe to the YouTube channel.
So correct me if I'm wrong, not to cut the football season off short because we'd like to make it a long run, but looking ahead to basketball, we're expecting to get back involved with basketball.
Yeah, we're looking forward to a new basketball season. Obviously, the team has a new regime coming in, interested to see how things change, but also ready for a fresh start, a little bit of some young blood. The new head varsity coach has a lot of what NFL teams refer to as fresh bones.
Yep.
A young man coming in ready to fill the shoes left by Kirk Eikens and head coach Stuck from years prior. So looking forward to see what the Rayders can put together on the court and for basketball. And so we will be covering Raider basketball. But so for myself, Shane, Dennis, this has been the Bartlett's Home Interiors halftime show. We're going to step aside.
Bartlett's Home Interiors is your hometown home furnishing store, serving Northern Michigan since 1950. Your perfect fit is waiting for you here. Among our large selection of furniture, flooring, Serta mattresses, and Hunter Douglas window treatments, our experienced staff can help with the details that are important to you to transform your space. Come explore our 35,000 square foot showroom today or visit us at bartlettshomeinteriors.com. Bartlett's Home Interiors, where you're always at home. M66 North, Charlevoix.
Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, after our great halftime show. Plenty of humor thrown in there. Why not? I've got a special shout-out of my own to give. A good friend of mine, Avery Kita. Thank you for tuning in and listening tonight, Avery. It's always great to have friends like you on here. You know, you might know her from the Raiders state run in ladies golf here this past weekend. Avery Kita and Sarah Pletcher both were the first. They did well. They did very well. I know Avery Kita especially, she improved 6 strokes from her first to her second match, so that's a great improvement. And they did very well in the overall state rankings, and it was the first time in 4 years that the Lady Raiders have had representation in states. So it's great to have them there, and it's great to have a friend like you, and thank you so much for everything, Avery. And we got some more texts coming in on the hotline. We've got... well, let's see. Since Jerry Megason isn't doing a shout-out, he is home watching from his favorite chair in Charlevoix, wishing he was there in person. Go, Landon, go Raiders. Well, I tell you
Jerry,
what.
we wish you were here, too.
Yeah.
We go way back. Used to be a firefighter here for the city back in the day. DNR, he used to drive the Steelhead.
Oh, yeah. I've been on the Steelhead before.
Yeah. Well, Jerry used to drive it back before it was painted the color it's painted right now. That's going back, right, Jerry?
Well, we've got another text in here. Thank you so much, whoever this is, saying we need you to do our basketball season. You are great to all of us.
Who's they
the
talking
team.
about? Me or you? Or Charles?
The whole team.
Oh,
we'll just say
okay,
that.
okay.
I'm not. You're not. We're not going to take any singular. The whole team.
No.
It's a group effort, bringing you the best quality broadcast that we can.
We're
That's
a package.
right. That's right.
Just like Bob Hope and Bing Crosby.
Just like Bob Hope, Bing Crosby, you've got Andy Griffith and Don Knotts. You've got Jack Lemon and Walter Matthau. You've got all sorts of package deals like that.
Abbott and Costello.
Or nowadays you got The Rock Johnson and
I've seen those commercials.
Little guy, I can't think of his name at the moment. Kevin Hart, there he is. Rock Johnson, Kevin Hart. You've got Tommy Boy. You can't go without Tommy Boy.
So you're
David
putting us
Spade.
in that category. Well, we kind of on the local level.
Oh yeah, the local level of those
like
categories.
Division 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. They're A-list celebrities, so they're like Division 1. We might be locals here, like Division 22 or something like that.
Yeah, we're way down there, but same sentiment.
Sure, yeah.
But I will say again, it's just a fun environment here. We got a lot of happy people, a lot of Raider fans here in downtown Charlevoix tonight at the Townhouse, which is kind of one of the standard places to stop on any given Friday night, whatever time of year. Just a pleasant place to come, and kind of like a miniature Cheers bar in a lot of respects. But I keep looking over at that pizza and those chicken wings, and I think at least some of that's calling my name. So if I go silent here for a second, I'm over there grabbing some food.
Well, Dennis, I don't know. We might have to put a new clause in the contract for you to be able to go get some food in the middle of a broadcast.
It looks free, too. I don't see anybody checking or charging money.
Well, we'll see about that. Another thing we will see here is Rayders about ready to get the ball here to begin this second half.
Yeah, back to the game, right?
Yeah, why not? We've had enough fun here for at least a couple minutes. We got to get back into our, we are being paid after all to call this game, so why not do what we're supposed to do for the good people watching at home?
The last half of the football game and the last regular season football game for the Raiders.
I just got chills. The last half of the last regular season football game of this season. What a season it's been. A quick one at that, and a very successful one for our Raiders. So proud to be a part of it. Quite honored to be able to bring this to you all at home, community members here at home and abroad, all over the country, watching your good Raiders play tonight and over the course of the entire season, as the Raiders will pick it up at their own 37-yard line to begin this second half.
Well, like we mentioned before, these kids and coaches started the season back in August, 2-day practices, so it's been a long haul, and you really got to hand it to the dedication and the commitment the coaches and staff and the players have made, which resulted in this very successful football season.
So here we go, Jess and company getting ready for the first snap of the second half. Max Dixon able to run it up the side a little bit there. He gains about 4 before he's taken out of bounds.
I think you'll see some of those starters kind of heading towards the bench. Third quarter here, kind of a commanding lead. We might start to see some of those second, third stringers in for the Raiders, just so nobody takes the chance of getting hurt for next week's playoff.
Yeah, we certainly don't want any of that. Obviously, we have got a very good cushion of a score. Let those guys get a well-deserved rest as we're about ready to kick it off here. 2nd and 4. The run up the center. Quick one at that by Henry Herzog. He's able to cross midfield and get to about the Glen Lake Laker 48-yard line. Not the 52, I might add, the 48-yard line.
Yeah, not the 52.
Yeah.
Herzog's had a great night tonight. His average yards per carry has been right around that 8 or 10 yard mark. The kid's having a great night tonight.
Yeah. And we've got another text in on that line, and I couldn't agree more. Butterburgers for the O and D line. Boy, what unsung heroes they are of this team. If it wasn't for their hard effort, we wouldn't have these big breakaway plays like we've had and the success that we've had so far this season. So thank you all so much for your hard effort in the trenches every single night, as Jess, once again, he'll keep it this time, working up the center. He'll get about 5 yards or so.
Those kids whose names we don't call, the kids that, maybe don't get the spotlight so much because they just don't do anything by themselves. That line, either the defense or offense, is just a unit. It isn't individual players, but they're the ones up front. They're the ones in the trenches. They're the ones that we don't say their name very often, but they play such a huge piece of the Charlevoix success this year. It's just unbelievable.
So here we are, Raiders 2nd and 6. Taking over from the Glen Lake 45. Jess once again with the keeper, and looks like he'll be able to get right about there to the first down, see if they give it to him. Yeah, they'll stop him about a yard short, looks to be.
Close, yep. 34-7. Charlevoix with a commanding lead as the clock ticks down here. We might get a running clock with one more score. What was the magic number there on that running clock? 40?
Oh.
I have to ask the guys in the truck if they're still awake.
Yeah, if they're still awake. Maybe they haven't a whole lot to talk about tonight.
Well, maybe Jimmy can run out there to the truck. I'm not even sure where it's parked. And ask him how many points for a running clock.
Another breakaway run this time, again by Henry Herzog. He's able to get down to the 15-yard line.
He's just having a great night as well. Herzog is just carrying the mail tonight.
He's got that rock, and he certainly isn't letting go. What a great job he's done so far, bringing the Raiders within a quick play or two of another potential touchdown here momentarily, as we still have 9 3/4 minutes to go here in this third quarter.
Charlevoix gets the ball ready to go pretty quick here with closing in on 9 minutes in the third quarter.
Just with a little bit of a bobbled snap. He keeps it though, runs up the side, goes out of the camera view, but he'll be, looks like, down around the 15-yard line. Can't quite see it for sure.
You know, one thing, I don't know, we haven't been keeping count, but there have not been really that many passes. We had that one bomb for the score earlier, but I'd have to say at least through almost the third quarter here, what, maybe 4, maybe 5 passes by Jess. So they haven't been relying on the pass. They've been, you know, why do that if the run is going so great?
Oh, my. Glen Lake is just like a wet sponge at the moment, letting all that water that is the Charlevoix offense run right through it. And Herzog gets the first down. Not a huge run, but enough to move those chains, and that's what's important in this game after all. He's able to get down there inside the 15. They'll be spotting him at about the 13-yard line.
Yep. Well, like we mentioned, a running back that can average 5 yards a carry, they're going to call him rich. 5 yards is a nice average, and Herzog has been all of that so far, and probably one of his more active nights carrying the ball.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Still 8.5 to go here in the third. Just information.
Herzog in the backfield.
Raiders taking their sweet time. No sense being too big of a hurry at the moment. Just stepping back, looking for a man. Fires down in the corner. Broken up there by Glen Lake. Not able to come away with it.
Well, we mentioned just earlier, just a couple seconds ago, we haven't seen a pass in there. We saw one, but that ball was probably not where it was going to be very successful. Probably, you know, more towards that back corner would have maybe worked a little bit because I think we had the angle on it, but just out of reach there from another 6 points.
Well, Dennis, I tell you what, Jimmy delivered on that truck run. He just came back with our answer. To begin the running clock at the beginning of the second half, you have to have a 40-point differential there.
Okay.
So that's how that works out. Glen Lake still gets a little extra time because of that. And the ball up the center there wasn't able to go very far at all. Couldn't quite get the number there.
Yeah, was that Swanson? I don't know.
I see it too. I can't see the other number though. Oh, nope, that was Henry Herzog again. Boy, that one looked like a 2.
Kind of throws you off too. You actually see in your frame 2 sets of goal posts. You got one on your left, which is the real deal, and then you got one on the right, which is like they must have some play that might bring that into the play. I don't know.
I'd like to see that trick.
That could be like 4.5 points over that way.
Just with a pass off to the side.
Oh, what an angle he had.
Yeah. Can't tell if that was stared again. It looks like it, but I can't tell you for sure. Dennis and I are both squinting at the screen. Now that was number 4, so Max Dixon.
Dixon with that. He had a great angle. There was 2 Glen Lake defenders over that way, and Dixon just cut it back in towards the middle and picked up nice yardage. It's going to be 1st and goal to go on about the 2-yard line for Charlevoix.
Raiders knocking on Glen Lake's door once again. Just getting ready to take the snap. Max Dixon next to him.
Just on the keeper. And going to be tight. They tried pushing him over, and I don't think it worked. It'll be 2nd down, goal to go from about the 1.
Man, you had both teams on there. It was a matter of just pure brute strength between the two. Glen Lake was able to obviously come away with that. It's fun. I tell you what, it's fun to be able to watch both offense and defense clash like that and see who can come away with it. I've always enjoyed like both full teams coming against each other to try and battle the ball one side or the other. Just a great effort so far by Glen Lake. They're not giving up yet, giving everything that they can on the defense, trying to do a little damage control here against Charlevoix. And the run up the center, that's good. That was brought to you by Henry Herzog.
He deserved that.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
This was the Henry Herzog show on this opening drive.
Throw Henry a ball and let him score 6. He deserved that. You're right.
So that brings the Raiders now to an even keel, 40 points, 40-7 over Glen Lake. See if they're going to go for the 2. Oh, no, I kick it here.
Kicker out there. Dixon.
Yeah, that is odd. We've got Max Dixon kicking for the Raiders tonight, so we'll see how this goes.
I tell you, one thing, we haven't called his name much since the first quarter, but Glen Lake's kicker was something to write home about. That kid had a leg and a half.
There we go. And the kick is good. Now we do see the double 4 on the back of that jersey. That is Ryan Pearl after all. I thought that'd be weird that they'd be putting Dixon in, but that other 4 was just a little bit too far away from us to tell.
Business owner, you learn to wear a lot of hats. The custodian hat, the IT hat, and well, you should have called a professional hat. Auto Owners takes care of your business insurance, so you can take care of everything else. That's simple human sense.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if auto owners make sense for you.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Charlevoix just about ready to kick it off. And while they do that, we'll give our good friends at Bingham Insurance another quick thank you. As Charles knows all about this, he's got 3 of them. Running a small business can be risky, but one thing, you can't leave the chances of your insurance coverage. Bingham Insurance wants to help keep you covered from the unexpected from happening. That's Bingham Insurance Company representing Auto Owners Insurance. And we don't quite know what the camera operator's doing there.
But Glen Lake just ran that kickoff for 6.
So they did. My goodness, I had my nose buried in that.
Yeah, you were paying the bills there, and I was watching for you. But I don't think that's happened this year. Football where Charlevoix allowed a kickoff return for a touchdown.
You're right, not even against Boyne City. I don't think that happened at all right after the kick like that, so that's an interesting scenario for the Raiders.
There's a couple things we haven't seen that happened tonight.
Brady with the fumble.
That kickoff, touchdown.
Glen Lake, they might only have 2 wins, but darn it, they're giving it their all here against the Raiders tonight. The kick is good. Plenty to go.
Yeah, he's got a leg.
So with that, that'll bring the score 41-14. Glen Lake had a quick surprise touchdown after the kickoff. And looks like we'll do another quick read. Booth's over there trying to get things figured out, so we'll go back again to Professional Seamless Gutters. Your home gutters are always there when you need them to be. So is our good friend Orion Beningo, and that's why he started Professional Seamless Gutters. Professional Seamless Gutters offers fast and experienced service and real-time quotes. But wait, there's more. They'll actually answer your phone call. That's Professional Seamless Gutters at 989-619-3407, and tell them that we sent you. Charles, welcome back in.
All right. Well, Shane, thank you for thanking our sponsors once again. Our proud sponsors make this possible to everyone to watch for free wherever they're watching from. Want to update that Glen Lake has 3 wins. We had to just reference 3 wins, 5 losses for Glen Lake. Just wanted to update that win-loss total. But got to like the way that the Raiders have come out in the second half. But giving up a touchdown like that, gotta be ready to respond as Glen Lake put up another 6 points.
Yeah, they kind of try a little bit of a squib kick. Number 77 for Charlevoix picks that up.
That was Ben Matter. We don't get to call his name a whole lot. One of those famous linemen for our Raiders. He was able to come away with the ball there, so the Raiders will take it over at midfield.
Yeah, you like when your lineman up that far, if the ball comes to them, at least they can jump on it, which Matter did there. So you also kind of hold your breath when the lineman's up that far and has a chance maybe to field a kick.
Yeah, and with that, we're going to thank one of our sponsors at J. Arnold Custom Cabinetry and Painting. Since 1994, Jay Arnold has been the name you trust, and they've painted, seen, done literally everything. That's Jay Arnold. They're one phone call away from getting you one step closer to your dream home. Shane, Raiders 1st and 10.
1st and 10, just with the shot up the center, up the side, that is. And that was number 20, James Dixon, that was able to come away with it.
And as I'm going to finish up here, Jay Arnold Custom Cabinetry and Painting. Give them a call at 231-547-0540.
Hey, I tried one of those chicken things. Well, I'd give it a 9.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like sticky, though.
Okay.
But there's a whole 2 things of chocolate chip cookies over there. They said if we want any cookies, feel free.
Well, Dennis, it's good to have you scouting out the food situation for us, as once again, Jess takes the keeper up the center, and he keeps powering those legs forward for another Raider first down, gets inside the Glen Lake 40-yard line.
Well, number 2 for Glen Lake was holding on for dear life to Jess's ankle because there was nobody between the end zone and Jess if he would have got his foot loose.
We'll give credit there to Gage Baker from Glen Lake. Just as you said, hanging on with every last ounce he had to make sure Jess wasn't able to score another touchdown against him, as they're able to put a touchdown of their own on the board here just a couple minutes ago.
I want to give another plug to the Professional Seamless Gutters text-in line. Use that text-in line on the bottom left corner of your screen to vote for the Culver's Butterburger Player of the Game.
So here we go. Once again, the ball run up the center, maybe about 4 yards or so gained on the play. And that 21. Was Swanson once again.
So I believe that we've got a quick change at quarterback right now. I think that's Ian Moran in at quarterback right now for the Raiders. As number 6, Ian Moran, we want to give a shout out to Ian Moran. He was our Culver's Butterburger Player of the Game.
For being a young freshman, he was able to fashion up his own touchdown drive here just a couple weeks ago, and that earned him that Player of the Game.
We after this play, we'll get this sorted out.
So once again, the break up the center. Landon Swanson powering upfield, getting away from those defenders, and he'll make it into the corner for another Raider touchdown.
Nice run.
Man, excellent vision by Landon Swanson there. He saw the cutback opportunity, and for a big guy, 6'2", 200 pounds, for him to be that big, that fast, but also have the vision to see that angle and see that the over pursuit of the defensive backs opened up that race to the pylon. Man, that was a really nice read for Swanson to get into that end zone.
Well, he's got to be closing in on 100 yards. Sterrett's got to be there. So there's 2 guys there. It's got to be at or above 100-yard nights on the ground.
So with that, Raiders up 47-14, going to go for another extra point kick. Not the 2-pointer, no sense in burying them any further.
That was
blocked, yep.
Another first.
My goodness, what a night for first. That was Copper Buffalini that was able to come away with the block for the Lakers. And so with that, we'll go to another commercial break and be right back on the other side of this.
I'm Ryan Beningo, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installation, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike many service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding the gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Charlevoix up 47-14 after the blocked extra point attempt by Ryan Pearl. Copper Buffalini was able to come away with that for the Glen Lake Lakers. That's a hard name to forget. Once you hear that, that's a strange one. Glen Lake was able to field that one about the 25 and gets about 8 or 9 yards or so on the run.
Not a great kick there. Kind of unusual, the shortness of that. I can't tell if the wind's any factor there in Glen Lake tonight or not.
It is Bryce Johnson. So that correction, but don't apologize. Just say you want to make a correction.
Ball's on the 35-yard line, which is where Glen Lake, Cedar, Maple City will start.
So once again, trying to get something going, down by a considerable amount, 33 points at the moment. Just trying to do a little damage control as Glen Lake makes it about 2 yards, maybe 3. Well, I guess they're giving them about 5 yards or so on the play. Fell forward there, gave him a little bit of extra room. And we want to make a correction. We just got a little information on our hotline. The backup quarterback for Charlevoix is number 6, Bryce Johnson.
Yeah, Bryce typically the number 2 guy. Has been all year. Not that he's seen a ton of playing time in that position, but should something happen to Jess, you need somebody there's had a little bit of few snaps on the field in a game situation. It's like Rayders are showing blitz.
Glen Lake tried to get that one up the center, maybe gained about a yard or so, and that was it. Still within their own 45-yard line with 3 minutes to go here in the third.
Yeah, it looks like I got number 50 for Charlevoix with a tackle there, but I don't show 50. Maybe I read that wrong.
It's probably number 60, Hunter Lemoran.
Okay. I'll go with that. Third down and 3 for Glen Lake.
Clock winding down here.
Boy, Charlevoix team, it's about 8:45. They'll probably get home about 11:30 or midnight tonight.
I don't envy them there. I know what that ride feels like. That's a late ride.
Oh, what a tackle.
Oh, my goodness. That was brought to you again by Landon Swanson. And Michael Gawa there was the one with the ball for the Lakers. He just couldn't get anywhere against the truck that is Landon Swanson.
Swanson just pasted Gawa like Swanson does.
Yeah, he not only put him down, paved the road, and sealed it with a top coat as well. So
yeah, that was a total hit there, textbook. So Charles, what would you think, Swanson, if you, all things being equal, and you didn't have to play both sides of the ball like you do for Charlevoix and a lot of schools, same schools our side? I think Swanson would be a heck of a tight end.
Sure, I mean, you definitely look at him from the point of could they put him into that H-back position that the Raiders want to utilize. But tight end, I like that as well.
So Glen Lake going for it here. Fourth and, oh, no, they're going to kick it. I apologize. Oh, they were going to go for a trick play. The kicker there, number 3, Sean Gawa, another member of the Gawa family, had the ball reared up. He was ready to throw it, not before a flag was dropped on the field.
Procedure. So you think that was going to be a trick play there? You think they were going to pass that thing?
Well, yeah. The ball was tossed to him, and he had it reared up. He wasn't going to drop it and kick it. He had it kind of reared up a little bit there. I think he was going to try something, and why not? Glen Lake would be at that time where flipping all the way back to the last page, as you said, all the way back to the bibliography in the playbook, trying to figure out something to work against the Raiders, and they just weren't able to come up with it.
So the cat got out of the bag on that one and didn't work. Now I bet you this is going to be a real punt. Well, it bounced it up there.
There we go. He was finally able to get it away, and another deep kick. This one will bounce around down to about the 26-yard line or so for the Raiders. Minute to go in the third.
I went down to the state game Saturday where they played Wisconsin in 2 overtimes, and that Bryce Behringer, the punter for MSU, that kid, talk about a punter. He's got a couple pro teams looking at him. I met his dad while I was down there. We were sitting near each other, and kid's a hell of a golfer, too. Heck of a golfer.
Whoa!
Heck.
We didn't hear that, Dennis.
I think you can say that word now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can say about any word. I think that's within reason, that one.
All right. Well,
I'll have to talk to the FCC about that, Dennis.
So here we go. Jess with the keeper this time, running up the center past the 40, and he'll be brought down about the 43-yard line. Well, unfortunately, Behringer.
Yeah, that was a nice run for
Bryce Johnson.
Bryce Johnson,
yep.
Yeah.
Got to get the new number in there. It's not number 5, it's number 6 now. Bryce Johnson filling in for
I would guess Brady Jess is back at the school bus sitting waiting for this game to be over. I don't think he's going to get anywhere near the field right now.
We've got another shout out once again from the family of Andrew Mitchell from Austin, Texas. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in as Charlevoix works up the side there, just short of the first down.
Trying to catch a number on that.
It looks like number 4 once again, Max Dixon. But yeah, unfortunately, Behringer there for the Spartans, he's getting his more than fair share of punts so far this season. Not a good look for the Spartans as a team. Good look for him trying to get into the NFL, but
yeah, but it's always trouble when your best player is the punter.
Yeah,
that's not a good sign. Austin, Texas, the home of Austin City Limits, a beautiful metropolitan growing area. A lot of big business moving into Austin.
So with that, the third quarter will expire, and we'll...
Charlevoix State Bank was founded in 1994 to provide exceptional local service to our northern Michigan community. With 6 locations in Charlevoix, East Jordan, Boyne City, Ellsworth, and Beaver Island, we're here to make banking easy, right here in your neck of the woods, with people you know. Charlevoix State Bank believes in the positive lessons of high school athletics and is a proud sponsor of tonight's game.
This November, the citizens of Charlevoix will have a choice to elect Dennis Halverson for mayor. On November 8th, choose leadership you can depend on. Vote Dennis Halverson.
Paid for by committee to elect Dennis Halverson mayor.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charlevoix trying to work something up the center there. They weren't able to gain much more than a yard or so it'll be a third down. Actually, they lose a little bit on the play. It'll be about 3rd and 4.
John Skolt used to be the school superintendent over there in Maple City, Glen Lake, and then he eventually went to Petoskey for Petoskey Public Schools as school superintendent. He retired here a couple years ago, so there's some ties to this part of the state, to that part of the state. Same with Chet Janix from over that way.
Here we go. Charlevoix this time did break up the center. That was number 15, Henry Herzog, once again handling the rock.
Herzog's having a career night tonight.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. This is one of his best games that we've seen. And it's good to see that he's only a junior. He's got some more playing time. Plenty more coming next year.
You know his size off the top of your head, what that Herzog?
Okay, let's see. He would be roughly around 6'1", somewhere in there, and he's probably pushing 190 or a little above. Nice. So he's a good-sized guy.
And I've heard reports from Jim Alger that he is the heaviest squatter on the team.
Nice.
So
well, that goes to show when he's able to drag guys around the field like that. As Charlevoix works to break it up the center again.
He gets it again.
Yep. Henry Herzog with that power run, another quick 9 yards.
Well, with that power play, we're going to thank our friends at Swanson K&D. And whenever you think excavating in Charlevoix, there's only one name to trust, Swanson K&D. Family owned and operated since 1944. Yes, Swanson K&D has got to be your go-to contractors for all your excavating, road grading, paving, and snow removal needs.
So here we go, Charlevoix with a short 2nd and 2. Bryce Johnson handling the snap. Little throw, low and away. Nearly picked off Sterrett, just couldn't quite get a handle on that one.
You don't see that happen very often. Looked like he was about ready to run before he had that ball looked into his, where he needed that. Unusual error for Sterrett.
Well, with that, Charlevoix now stuck with that 3rd and 2 situation. They've had 2 straight 3rd downs here in this drive. Rather unusual once again. Johnson now with a high snap. He'll keep it, gets across the line, and then some all the way down beyond the 20, or 25, excuse me.
Nice little play there, a little ad lib. by the backup quarterback. Makes it first down from about the 21-yard line.
And as they move the chains, we're going to move on and thank our friends at Skydive Charlevoix. Listen, Skydive Charlevoix is an affiliate program of Skydive Harbor Springs, offering base jumps opportunities for everyone in northern Michigan to see the great scenery of northern Michigan from above. We're going to come back to them in a little bit, Shane.
Okay, sounds good. Bryce Johnson once again with the snap. He'll take it, runs up the center, finds a gap, and gets down inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line.
And as Bryce Johnson made that great run, Shane, a little caveat about Skydive Charlevoix. Tell us about that, because every senior who graduates from Charlevoix High School gets a free jump.
You know, I was hoping to be able to talk about that. Yes, every graduating senior from COVID on so far has been able to get a free jump, and I was a happy taker of that jump. And ladies and gentlemen, it's not nearly as scary as you think apart from the height. That's it. If you have height problems, which thankfully I don't, you might have a little bit of trouble, but the staff is so good. I'll get back to that here in a second as Bryce Johnson works up the side, meets just an absolute monster of a defender there and gets inside the 5. But the staff there at Skydive Charlevoix is so kind, so accommodating, so helpful, and they make sure that you can have great humor. The jumpers there, of course, they make sure that you feel comfortable. Obviously, you kind of have to, being up 10,000 feet in a little plane before you jump out.
Yeah.
But they give you fantastic service, great smiles. I recommend going to them. If you have any thought whatsoever wanting to jump and experience the ride of your life, please do it. It's well worth your money. Get some good pictures while you're at it. As Charlevoix comes up with their 2nd and 5 here, Henry Herzog powers around and gets in across that line for another Raider touchdown. Did he?
I think his knees hit the ground before he got in the end zone.
Yeah, the line judge from the far side of the field is coming in saying his knee was down before the ball crossed the plane of the goal line. So they're going to put him just short of the goal line at the 1-yard line. But got to like the effort for Herzog there, making the reach into the end zone.
Certainly, he wasn't going to go down without a fight, that's for sure. Spun around players, just couldn't quite get across it there. Just short.
I think Johnson takes us in by himself.
Let's see what happens. So far, he's making it, and he does.
But
there's a flag, of course.
We do have a flag coming from the back side of the Raider offensive line. So we'll see if one of those left guard, left tackle, they grabbed a hold of Jersey. So that's going to push them back 10 yards. And that is a tough penalty, as they had it 3rd and goal from the 1. That's going to make it a 3rd and 11. It's still goal to go.
Yeah. Not exactly the break the Raiders were looking for, but at the very least, we've got a great kicker in Ryan Pearl. For whatever reason, we can't get it in. And obviously, we're not hurting for points. We're very comfortable, so no worries there whatsoever. Winding down to about 8 minutes or so here in the 4th, up 47-14.
Almost a passing situation here, 3rd and 12. So we'll see Johnson, what kind of arm he's got down here, getting ready to score. He's going to get sacked.
Yep. He just did not look ready for that. He was a little slow with the snap and then just got caught unaware by 2 Lakers. Number 57, that's Kalen Casbin, and number 2, Gage Baker, were both there to bring him down. So that pushes the Raiders almost all the way back to the Glen Lake 20-yard line.
So we'll see if they have an opportunity for a field goal here, as it's 4th and 20. Let's see what the Raiders decide to do.
I think that's well within Pearl's range. Do you take the 3, or do you go for the touchdown and just give it back to him if you don't make it?
I'm an even numbers guy, so I want to say just go for the 3 and make it a nice 50-14. That's a nice score to go in the papers, but looks like they're going to go full
like they didn't
court.
call you.
No. Yeah, that wouldn't be the first time.
4th and 18 for Charlevoix, obviously a passing situation.
Johnson looking for a man. He fires. It's caught, but that'll be just short there of the 5-yard line, well short of the goal line, so that'll bring up a turnover on downs. Glen Lake will take it right about their own 7.
So with that, we're going to thank some more of our sponsors tonight. We want to thank Just Wood and Steel. Hey, Michiganders, we like to have our outdoor toys, meaning our 4x4s, ATVs, side-by-sides, campers, trailers, boats, much more. Often we don't consider how to store those vehicles, but Just Wood and Steel makes it easy with pole barns, metal frames, and sheds built to your specifications. When choosing a company to build your pole barn or enclosure, Go with what's real. Go with just wood and steel.
That's your best ad of the whole year.
And I mean,
I'd give that ad a M.
It's between that one and the intersection of savory and gourmet.
Oh,
I like that one too.
Yeah, that's a good number too, but.
Here we go, Glen Lake trying to work something up the center. Didn't get more than a yard or so.
As we got a 2nd and 8, we're going to continue to thank some more of our sponsors tonight. We're going to thank WB Builders. WB Builders is your Northern Michigan home builder and full-service residential construction firm serving the Charlevoix, Boyne City, Walloon Lake, Advance, Horton Bay, East Jordan, and Petoskey communities. That's WB Builders.
So 2nd and 8 for Glen Lake. Gowa fires up, makes a deep pass downfield, out of camera range, just not fast enough to catch up.
Ball was caught. The ball was caught, and they're going to put him down at the 47-yard line, it looks like.
Looks like this game's going to kind of end the way it started with Glen Lake connecting on the bomb.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to air it out and play man-on-man, see if you can take those opportunities with your shots down the field.
They're not done yet.
Gowa once again looking for his pass. Can't quite make it. That went out of bounds. Yeah, might as well try and make up something. I mean, a lot of Charlevoix second-string guys are in there, so might as well do a little damage control if you can.
Yeah, and as the Raiders look like they're pretty well set on putting the Glen Lake Lakers to sleep, we're going to thank our friends at Bartlett's Home Interiors. And since 1950, the best selection of furniture, flooring, and Serta mattresses. We're going to send those Serta mattresses to the Lakers. And Hunter Douglas Window Treatment says Bartlett's Home Interiors. See for yourself at their 35,000 square foot showroom in Charlevoix or online at bartlettshomeinteriors.com.
All right, Charles.
I'm on a roll tonight,
I guess
fellas.
so. Yeah.
Maybe it was maybe it's the ambiance of the Townhouse, which, if you didn't know, we're bringing this game. We're having a live watch party down at the Townhouse, downtown Charlevoix on Bridge Street. So maybe it's that. Maybe it's the fact that this is the 9th game of the season and I have these ads ingrained into my memory bank. But glad everybody tuning in is enjoying it.
Yeah, the Raider game is being played on all the big screens here in the Townhouse. We're seeing ourselves from 3 or 4 different angles.
Tell you what, there's not one bad angle of us.
Fumble by Glen Lake.
Yep.
So there's a funny story, as it looks like the Lakers got back on the ball, but an interesting series of events is going on right now in the Professional Seamless Gutters text-in line.
Okay.
We got a text, and it basically says the kindergartners at Charlevoix Elementary School are cheering for the big Raiders tonight.
Aww.
And we obviously love it, but, isn't it kind of past their bedtime? And according to the teacher, they talked about it at school today and got the link out there. So they're the biggest fans of the big Raiders.
Awesome.
So the kindergarten class is tuning in, watching the big Raiders play some football, getting ready to take home this W.
You know what? It's never too late on a Friday night to watch good football. As Gowa tries to get past that 40-yard line, he fires up the center. Yep. And that'll be
Ball's
brought
out,
down.
ball's out, ball's out.
Oh, my goodness. What a mess of a play that was.
It's like Charlevoix's got it. Glen Lake's holding their helmets. Charlevoix recovered the fumble on a nice pass connection by Glen Lake.
Gowa just about ready to go out of bounds, makes that last-ditch effort, connects, and then a fumble. That is not how they likely wanted to end this game with only 5 minutes left to go.
That is a stake in the heart.
Oh, yeah. After another bomb of a play earlier, long pass connection there by Glen Lake, just stalled out, could not create anything more against the Raiders, and then to have a pick like that after a fumble, just not how they wanted to go out swinging tonight.
So as the Raiders set up 1st and 10 here, guys, I think it's time to really start pumping up the hype train on the Charlevoix player, or the Culver's Butter Burger Basket Player of the Game Award. Please text in to the hotline as you see on screen. Let us know what you think. Right now, we have a very close race. We're going to tally up some of the views and then figure it out.
Those guys in the truck probably got their shoes and socks off counting up all those votes we've had tonight from a very active Raider Nation.
Oh, my. Yeah.
Literally Raider Nation.
So this time, Raiders working up the side. I'll bring you the number as soon as I can see it, all the way across the field there.
Doesn't matter who it was. That was a nice run.
Looks like that was Max Dixon there, number 4, Max Dixon for the Raiders. Dennis, I wonder what happens down there in the truck if they run out of fingers and toes. How are they going to count that?
We don't want to know that. No.
They go with socks and sandals and whatever else they can find with cords that they can plug into the wall and count with.
Okay. Well, with that, Johnson, a high snap and handoff. About 3 yards or so on the play.
47-14. This is more like it. This is what we've come to expect during this great Charlevoix football run this year. Again, the week from Friday. Charles, you want to speak to that when we get a second, what that might look like?
I will. You're going to have to repeat that again, because honestly, Dennis, I was reading the text-in lines and I wasn't paying attention to you.
Well, I kind of feel like I'm at home now. My wife doesn't listen to this.
Shots fired.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's
she
good.
does HGTV.
Okay.
So yeah.
You got those free shot opportunities.
And that's when you guys outs me on that, but
I want to give a little credit there to a name we don't call a whole lot. Young sophomore, number 12, Brady Warchall. He was the one carrying the rock here just a couple plays ago for the Raiders. Got a good 3 yards. You know, a young player getting a little bit of time out there in the field. Want to give him a little credit for putting up a good effort so far tonight as well. So, Charles, we have a report from the truck about the top contenders for that Butterburger Player of the Game.
Yes, we do. So we're getting a lot of love for Brady Jess for Player of the Game tonight. Did a good job of executing the offense. He right now is the leader in the clubhouse.
Has he got one yet this year?
He has not won one yet.
That's hard to believe. That was a football.
So we got a great play, or looks like a flea flicker that they're going to throw deep here, and that one is picked off. Nice play.
Intercepted by...
Is that Max Dixon, number 4
Max Dixon. He threw that into
Actually,
double coverage.
Actually, it was Owen Waha with the pick.
Waha with the pick. That was the worst pass Glen Lake's made all night. Gawa wants that back.
So back to the Player of the Game voting. Brady Jess, leader in the clubhouse right now. He's got 82 votes. Wow, I mean, big time. Followed by Landon Swanson. He's got 78 votes. And then after that, we have, let me see if I can find a third place. Just got 4 more votes for Brady Jess.
Okay.
So he's now extended his lead. Once again, keep voting into the text-in line as we're getting these votes. We're going to give it up until 2 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Then we're going to call it.
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? You got a minute and a quarter game time in order to get those votes in. Close race at the moment between Brady Jess and Landon Swanson. Keep those votes coming in.
I didn't think those guys in the truck could count that high.
Man.
Those guys, they
must
really,
have like a secret calculator.
They've blossomed this year. I remember, they weren't anywhere near being able to count that high at the beginning of the season, and now look at them. Everybody's gotten better.
Well, I mean, they do a good job, those guys. They work hard out in the truck.
Yeah, that's the best money can buy down there. We still don't know where the truck is tonight, though.
It's parked outside on Bridge Street.
Is it? Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you see our truck, let us know. Here we go. Bryce Johnson working up the center. Got maybe 4 yards or so.
I got one to come back. Ladies and gentlemen, if you see our truck, please go fill it up with gas. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's quite an undertaking to bring you these broadcasts. We've got people behind the scenes. Talk about the offensive and defensive line not getting much attention. The people behind the scenes here to help us put these broadcasts together is quite extensive as well. Bringing you the best product that we can do to honor what these kids are doing on the field.
The best that money can buy here in Charlevoix.
You getting paid for this?
Oh, I'm not. Oh. We're just all here working together.
Yeah.
We got all of our sponsors that are buying us, that's for sure. Paying for our bills so we can bring this to you without having to pay a dime.
Hello.
Hi.
We're getting a shout-out in person. This is a personal shout-out.
We a lot of people starting to either go around.
We'll do
we're getting some live votes right now for ballots being cast at the Townhouse. So we're taking.
No, I don't need another beer. No,
oh, I don't know, Dennis. Former top cop and mayoral candidate of Charlevoix here.
As we have reached the 2-minute mark, and we're going to call it. We're going to give the player of the game tonight to sophomore quarterback Brady Jess. So, Brady, congratulations.
That's hard to believe out of 9 games.
Yeah.
That's the first one he got.
Well, obviously, people were impressed with the way he played tonight. I was impressed with the way he's played all season.
Yeah, I'm not arguing. Yep.
And at some point in time, you got to recognize people that have done it all season long. The offensive line has done it all season long, and I think a couple weeks ago, the whole offensive line got a Culver's Butterburger basket, courtesy of Dennis Helverson. So, I think coming up here, we're going to have to reward that defensive line. As we look forward to next week's game, it'll more than likely be a home playoff game next week. Just want to let everyone know that game will be coverage will be depending on the MHSAA's coverage restrictions, so we'll post more information regarding that game when we have it.
So once again, this time it's number 2, Hudson Vollmer, running that ball, getting a little bit of playing time.
Yeah, I think Charlevoix is just going to be content running this one out.
Yep. 45 seconds to go on the game, 47-14. No reason why not, although they are within the 40-yard line. See what they do if they're going to be, giving a little extra mustard to Glen Lake, or if they're just going to cool it off here.
I think they'll do the victory formation, which they're in right now, and run this baby out.
So with that, the Raiders are going to pick up another win. Once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, all of our sponsors from Just Wood and Steel, J. Arnold Painting and Custom Cabinetry, Professional Seamless Gutters, Bingham Insurance, Charlevoix State Bank, Fresh Coast Sliders, Bartlett's Home Interiors, Swanson K&D, Dennis Helverson for Mayor, Northwest Heating and Air, Big B Coffee, Charlevoix Agency Insurance, Culver's of Charlevoix, the Beaver Island Boat Company, Market Technologies Incorporated, Charlevoix Sewer and Drain Cleaning, Site Planning and Development, and also Martin Concrete, and last but not least, Skydive Charlevoix for bringing this game to you live. For myself, this is Charles Strail, Shane Smith, Dennis Helverson, Jimmy Deskamp running our production tonight. Gentlemen, any final thoughts as we get ready to sign off?
It's just been a great regular season. How could you not like, the caliber of these young men? I've been over there and watched them practice. They put their heart and soul into this game and have been for months now. And I know that's hard on not only, them occasionally, but the parents, the family. I know a lot of cold dinners for a lot of them. So it's kind of nice with all that being said and the hard work and effort they put into it, the coaches put in for it, the fan following, all the people that are watching tonight and have been for the whole season. What a nice way to end the regular season. And here we go into the playoffs.
Oh, I cannot wait for the playoffs. With the talent that this team has to offer, this might be one of our best runs into the postseason in Raider history, and I'm excited for all of us to be a part of it and just to see how this Raider team continues to grow into the offseason. As long as they keep those occasional penalties cleaned up, keep those balls, their passes rather in the air and not bouncing off the ground, or the one strip sack that happened against Brady Just. As long as we keep those things cleaned up against our postseason opponents, I don't think we'll have much of a problem making our run through it, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, so with that, everyone, that's going to conclude tonight's broadcast. We'll be back next week. As I said, stay locked in on wherever you get your information from, whether it be from the Next Level Broadcasting Facebook page, the Charlevoix Raider Athletics page, what's happening in Charlevoix Facebook page. There's a lot of different mediums of information that we transmit, so make sure you stay tuned into those notifications if you're getting them from our accounts. So with that, we'll see everyone next week.
Tonight's game has been brought to you by Professional Seamless Gutters, Charlevoix State Bank, J. Arnold Painting, Bingham Insurance Services, Fresh Coast Sliders, J. Arnold Custom Cabinetry, Bartlett's Home Interiors, Swanson K&D, Just Wood and Steel Sales and Design Center, Martin Concrete, Skydive Charlevoix, CarQuest Auto Parts, Big B Coffee, Northwest Heating and Air, WB Builders, Charlevoix Agency Insurance, Culvers of Charlevoix, Beaver Island Boat Company, Market Technologies Incorporated, Charlevoix Sewer and Drain Cleaning, Site Planning and Development. Thank you for your support. We hope you have enjoyed tonight's game.